information from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community, still broadcasted on the radio.
That's why we invited you to join our interaction, and that's why we would like to inquire
to besmirch my or to destroy my reputation, dignity, and my personal faith, even those of my family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming
To my fellow honorables and members of media, pleasant morning to all. Our 12 regular session is now called to order. Please stand for a short prayer and followed by the national anthem.
Let us all pray in the name of the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. God, our Father, create in us a heart that hungers for your will alone, a heart to accept your will, to do your will, to be whatever you want us to be. What we are is your gift to us, and what we become will be our gift to you. Help us to be a good example to others of the virtues of honesty, integrity, justice, loyalty, and self-discipline. Grant us your wisdom and guidance in all our actions and decisions, so that they will be for the common good. Bestow your blessings on all our local officials, so that they may fulfill their duties and obligations justly and wisely. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Madam Secretary, kindly do the roll call.
Good morning. We are now on our 12th regular session. The honorable members of the Sangguniang Bayan of Malay, Honorable Abram L. Swalog,
Present.
SB Member Natalie Kawaling Paderes, SB Member Jupiter L. Reg Gallinero, SB Member Frolibar S. Bautista, SB Member Lloyd B. Maming, SB Member Dalidigway Sumdad, SB Member Maylin Aguirre Graf, SB Member Danilo G. De Los Santos, SB Member Dante Sipagsugiron, and SB Member Julieta A. Aron. Mr. Chairman, 8 are present and 2 are absent.
So after the roll call, it was determined that we have a quorum. So the chair would like to declare a quorum. Let's proceed to the adoption of the minutes of previous session.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning to each and everyone. Good morning to our guests and friends from the media, to our colleagues. Mr. Chair, I move to dispense the reading of the minutes of the previous session.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Gallinero that the reading of the minutes should be dispensed, and seconded by Honorable Aron, so the said motion is approved. So let's review. Any correction or amendments on page 1? Page 2?
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Pagsugiron.
Page 2, line 9.2 and 9.3.
Proceed.
To the three secretaries, I'd like to add the Department of DNR, Tourism, and the LG after three secretaries, Mr. Chair, to be specific. And of course, to the President and of course, President Rodrigo Duterte.
Okay,
Thank you.
so your correction is noted. Let's proceed to page 3. Page 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable
I'd like to
Graf.
number 1666.
Page, under what page?
Page 27.
Proceed.
Kasi the English baker, my cousin, the property of my cousin, wait, sorry. My cousin, dapat nauna yung the property of my cousin there, and the neighborhood are complaining about baho dun.
Okay, so what's the correction?
The property of my cousin behind the English bakery.
Okay.
And the whole neighborhood in that area are complaining.
Okay, noted. Let's proceed to page 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable
page-
Pagsugiron.
line 2031, Mr. Chair,
Under what page?
page 32.
Line
Line 2031.
20. Proceed.
Gina-accredit kami with local government to, I'd like to add after government unit of Malay, government unit of Malay.
Okay, noted. Let's proceed to page 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and finally, page 70. Honorable Pagsugiron.
Mr. Chair, since the previous minutes was properly reviewed, so I move for its adoptions and approval.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Pagsugiron for the adoption and approval of our previous minutes. Seconded by Honorable Maming. So our previous minutes is hereby adopted and approved with correction on page 2, line 92 and 93, page 27, line 1666, page 32, line 2031. Let's proceed to the privilege hour. Honorable Aaron is recognized.
I would like to, good morning to each and everyone. I would like to brought up the issue on the boundary dispute between Malay and Nabas, since the problem of Matuda and Andrituda was not formalized, then another problem arise, the boundary dispute. Nabas is recognizing the boundary at the former terminal of series liner at the house of former Kagawad Virgie Reyes as of this time. Because during the meeting last Monday also with the Matuda and the president of Andrituda, the Andrituda does not agree on the agreement that at least 15 Matuda units of tricycle will be joining the Andrituda at the arrival area of the airport. So, since that was not agreed upon, and because of the order of the municipal mayor of Nabas, James Solanoy, that they will not agree to accommodate the Matuda units at the arrival area, since it is their jurisdiction. So, the appeal of Matuda is, if they don't like them, we will not assert to be, or we will not insist, but the Andrituda tricycle must have no parking area inside Katiklan. So they must be at the boundary area, and the Andrituda will just deliver the guest from the airport to the jetty port, wherein Matuda units, Matuda operators are very of this activity. So for the meantime, it's okay, but they must stay at the boundary. And it arises that the boundary that they recognize is not in the former terminal of Ceres. So this creates a big problem. After that, I called the office of the mayor through Mr. Ed Sanso regarding this, but there's no action being done as of now. And as of now, still, the Andrituda is parking at that said boundary wherein being asserted by Nabas. So my point this time is, if we can have a joint session, SB of Malay, SB of Nabas, with the provincial, this must be resolved at the provincial board. And I was furnished also a resolution from the Sangguniang Panglalawigan, but on the land area, on the actual area, I want that SB Nabas, SB Malay with the provincial board must be present and fix the boundary if where is the actual location in the area, so that there's no conflict that might arise. As of now, our cemetery will be on Nabas if that's the Nabas marks of the each boundary. And I was also informed by the MPDC of Nabas that during the implementation, the former mayor of Nabas did not implement, since ninong niya si Mayor Kawaling. And that's not acceptable to us. We want to we want to fix so that it will not create conflicts to our next generation. Thank you and good morning again.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Aaron. Is there any interpellation? Honorable Grab is recognized.
Mr. Chair, Madam Juliet, anong papilis ang ginapakita itnabas para i-assume na ang andang nga boundary ay dyan sa dating series? Updation, any document, or any historical boundary, something like that, to prove themselves na anda ang daan nga lugar?
They furnish us this resolution number 03, series of 154. Resolution requesting the Bureau of Lands to implement resolution number 8 of the Provincial Board of Copies enacted on January 14, 1956. And there is a amendments. Resolution number 03, resolution number 3154 as of May 16, 2003, wherein if I am allowed to read the contents.
Proceed, Honorable Aaron.
Whereas said resolution specifically designates the boundaries between the two municipalities. Whereas as provided for in the said resolution, should there be no appeal from or a motion for reconsideration on the subject resolution within 3 months after receipt of the decision, the same become final and the Highway District Engineer of Capiz is directed to monument the boundary line as fixed therein. Whereas no appeal on the said resolution was made, however, no monuments were laid fixing the boundary lines between the two municipalities, hence the problem persists up to the present administration. Now therefore, be it resolved as it is hereby resolved to request the District Land Officer of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Calibo, Aklan, to implement the above-mentioned resolution by laying out the boundary between the municipalities of Malay and Nabas in accordance with Resolution Number 8, January 14, 1956 of the Province of Capiz as soon as possible, and expenses will be incurred to charge the same to the two municipalities. That's the content of the resolution.
Okay.
Honorable,
Honorable,
can you read
Bautista.
the chairman? It's possible to read the boundary. Is there any descriptions stated on the resolution that determines the boundaries?
This is the amendment. Resolved to amend as this board hereby amends the pertinent provisions of decision of this board on the boundary dispute between the municipalities of Malay and Nabas as embodied in Resolution Number 779 Series of 1955 of this board to read as amended thus, that the exclusive municipal jurisdiction over the use and administration of the shoreline along Tabon Point be given to the municipality of Malay. That the municipality of Malay be given the exclusive municipal jurisdictions and control over the use and administration of the 1/2 portion west of Lake Lupu-Lupu, and the municipality of Nabas be given the exclusive municipal jurisdiction and control over the use and administration of other half portion east of Lake Lupu-Lupu.
So how did this Lake Lupo-Lupo divided? Of course, pumakaroon, di ba? O, sin ang bandang boundary na. So if you divide the lake, of course, pag ano, di ba? Going to the north. Oh, so man yung magsugod sa daya sa atong boundary.
Okay.
I think
May I have
it's
the
a matter of
copy of,
interpretation with presiding.
That's why, paano?
Ang tower is Tabon Point.
Ang
Tabon Point.
Tabon Point. They are claiming sa Angas eh. Angas.
But based on the resolution, Tabon Point it should be under the jurisdiction of Malay. So where is ang Tabon Point? Saan yan?
Ato ang punta.
Sa punta, it bye-bye.
Saan nga banda nga bye-bye?
Kung ang creek by sundon, ito ta na ang tabon sa day na biyata balang jagit sa bay.
Ang hours the lake.
Ang lake ito.
Oh, so paano i-divide? Ang i-divide mo pamakaron na, di ba pamakaron gina?
Ang lake sa may unan pa to sa may
Tuta sa
To the
airport
airport.
ng runway.
Oh. Ay,
Ay,
kagayo.
dito taron.
Okay. So I think we will refer this to Committee on Laws to further
Mr.
conduct
Chair.
honorable
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No? Actually, the boundary dispute needs more clarification, no, and determining the boundaries. No, I think we have to ask our municipal planning officer, Mr. Chair, and the assessor, if kung dinastagit ang mga lugtait Malay nun, taga Malay, dahil imaw ron ang magasit sa atot boundaries kung siin banda ang pinakakatapusan nga tax deck nga landowner hay Malay nun rather than nabas nun, Mr. Chair. Maybe we have to seek the abulig it aton karang sangguniang panlalawigan with regards to that dispute, no, because kung kita lang together with Nabas, I know nga ang Nabas we set a lot of meetings for the improvements and for clarification, but still they don't acknowledge our meeting, no, so it's very hard for them to understand what's the problem is. So I think it needs an intervention of the sangguniang panlalawigan, if maybe, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Mr.
Honorable
Presiding,
Bautista.
to recall, no, just a recollection, Mr. Chair, I attended one of the committee hearing regarding and even in the session, the plenary, I think that was 2002 or 2003, and this problem was not resolved, Mr. Chairman, in the plenary of the Sangguniang Palawigan, since there was disagreement on the boundaries identified. There was an order from the Sangguniang Palawigan, based on the resolution that ordering the DENR to make the survey, but I think it was not implemented. And even the 1956 resolution by the Provincial Board of Copies ordering also the public highways before, but it was not also implemented, I think, Mr. Chairman. So there's really a problem. But based on during the discussions in the plenary, Mr. Chairman, there was a status quo, no, meaning no movement at all. So there was disagreement on the proposed or being identified boundaries. So as of now, I think if they are violating the existing boundaries that we have, nakita natin dyan, so may violation sila. So if they encroach in our boundary, so issue them the tickets from the map, Mr. Chairman, implementing our existing ordinance.
Okay. Honorable Pagsugiron is
I think, Mr.
recognized.
Chair, I think it's very premature on the part of the municipality of Nabas to declare, no, in front of series as their part of their jurisdictions, no, and that's why it was mentioned by Honorable Bautista that there was an order, two orders, but it was not yet implemented, and that is also part of my premise, Mr. Chair, no, and so that's why I think our boundary monument there is standing for many years ago, and I think municipality of Nabas should respect that, no? At and the Laguna area, Mr. Chair, as far as I know, there are portions of Laguna, some lot owners also declared in municipality of Malay, and portions is part of Nabas, Mr. Chair. So kung tanaw naton ang Laguna area ay and also the Laurel Island is part of municipality of Malay, Mr. Chair, no? So it is very clear, and I think in that descriptions of boundaries, Mr. Chair, medyo malisod nato na. We cannot, even municipality of Nabas cannot exactly determine where is the exact boundary, because I think some references there were used ay mga kahoy lang takang una. If we look at the reference, Mr. Chair, no? So wala na yun ngayon eh. the only things that we can use as a reference is only the lupo-lupo, Mr. Chair. And lupo-lupo is very clear that is sa kwan yan eh. Punta pa rin it ng runway, Mr. Chair, no? So, I think in order to resolve this, and my worry, Mr. Chair, today is, of course, the parking of the Anrituda, no, tricycles in our jurisdictions, no. I don't know if we can send our transportation office there to, I think, to discuss with him na hindi sila pwede doon. As what the municipality of Nabas insisting to us, no, Mr. Chair, no. So it's not. That's why I agree with you that to refer this matter to Committee on Laws, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
So, are we amenable? So we can we will just refer this to the committee. So, okay, Honorable Graf, last interpretation.
Since we're now discussing the boundaries, no, we also don't know because one of the island, like in near the Laurel, which they call Magic Island, is being claimed by Nabas also, and that has not been resolved until now. And for all from that boundary line that I think Uncle Roger, when he was mayor, put up that boundary, and no one questioned about it for many years. So how come they just woke up now and they woke up and said this is ours? And also, Mr. Chair, we know that like we also have a boundary, these problems between Mutag and the Baoy, because some of the residents there are voters of Mutag because they believe.
Grab,
so we will just add that. No, what I'm saying, what I wanted to reach is something like, since we are now trying to resolve the boundaries in the municipality of Malay Nabas, we might as well also look into the other boundaries between the barangays also.
Okay,
So
we're discussing about
once and for all.
order. We're discussing the boundary dispute of the two municipalities. We will give priority to that. The other barangay dispute, we can tackle that on the other time, some other time.
Mr. Chairman.
Anyway, before we refer this to the committee, so we can continue with the other agenda. It's really very clear, no, sa andang even on the resolution of the province, no. That the exclusive municipal jurisdiction over the use and administration of the shorelines along Tabon Point be given to the municipality of Malay. So meaning, ang boundary naton, the whole of Tabon Beach is owned by Malay. So ang boundary ito sa Union, boundary Tabon ng Union sa may bukid nga rock. So if you will notice with their sketch, ang gina-claim it Nabas, pati dya kaya Tabon Port, yaw. Andang sa marutong unang yaw. But sa resolution, provincial resolution, ang exclusive jurisdiction it Malay, the whole portion of Tabon. Ang dyan lang kaya sa lupo-lupo ngayon mo, yung ginapatunga. So even in their resolution may problema. So that's why in order for us to clarify this dispute, we will refer this to the Committee on Laws. And what are the other committees that might be joining the committees on laws?
Land use.
Land use. Land use lang ang Committee on Laws.
Infra.
Oo.
Infra,
Sa land use lang, kibahan. Oo. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable
before the, anyway, just already recommended to referral for the committees. No? So, may isang krula akong comments, Mr. Chairman. What really happens now in the present situation is, during, ang na problema, airport eh. No? It happens only because of airport operation, tricycles eh. Yung mga nag-come up ang problema. Dahil sa sa mga decision making at mga opisyalis ambat nga wa ginaisipat mayad bagaro mga kakatabo in the future, Mr. Chairman. Nga who is expecting na ato ng airport iba ang galing banwa ang terminal. So ruma conditions nga ginubra nga solution so una wa sudut mayad ba, Mr. Chairman. Nagsinunod naman ro balot Malay, itatong mga proposals without thinking na in the future, may ibot agali mag problema. So what are the sectors affected? Transport, no? The landowners, pinabayaan man. So, Ma'am Chairman, so, what basuhon ka natabo na ay mga opisyalis man nga nagdesisyon nga wa kita pagtutuki at estudyot badagong mayad kung ano resulta kwato mga decisions. Wala ako, Mr. Chairman, nga ayop next time when we make decisions, estudyuhan gid mayad nga sigurohon gid nga harap ang mga projects hindi makapiktura sa sunod nga mga henerasyon. Haron yun sa bilog, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Chair?
While we are referring this to the two committees, we might as well send an official communication to the office of the mayor regarding the privileged speech of Honorable Aaron. So it will be on record that there was incident that had happened in Katiklan. But the other thing is that ang matuda ang anong sa bilog nga. Oh, they are now claiming the boundary, and yet they are still crossing our jurisdiction. It's a bit unfair, no, to the municipality of Malay. Ang fair sa tanan kung udto ang gina-claim da hasta lang nadto ka pundo. Hindi nakatod bisita udto sa duty port.
Yes.
If we will follow our jurisdiction, let's presume udto hasta lang nadto ka mapundo. So it's unfair to aton nga matuda udya nga pasugtan pasulod udya while ang aton di kita kasulod sa teritoryo nabas. Where is the logic ang fairness to our association, tricycle association? So we might as well ask our transportation officer to look into this matter, and actually they can regulate the tricycle from Nabas. Hindi
Yes.
pwede dapat magsulod. And we are requesting the SB of Nabas to conduct a joint session, pero wag gapon it response. So ang aton kaya status quo lang unta nga wait may magsulod sa kada boundary. Problema, the guest will suffer, no? Ang bisita ta naton ang maklosure kita nga tungod sa problema, dugangan pa nato tayong problema. So isang bilog ang nagtaot problema kaya ang Katiklan Airport.
May invitation.
Nag-implement sanda it pagsailo it andang terminal without consulting the municipality of Malay nga sayang na may dispute ang may problema sa boundary. So I would like to ask also our SB Secretary to send communication to CAAP, and we will have to send communication also to Transair, no? Otherwise we will be obliged to stop even the operation in Katiklan Airport. We will do something that that will settle all this problem. Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With regards to the problem of our transportation between the Anrituda and Matuda, Mr. Chair, the transportation office, headed by Mr. Oxon, together with us and the barangay captain, our Liga president, had a meeting with the Sangguniang Bayan members and the Anrituda and some department concerned with regards to the problem over the boundaries, Mr. Chair. So actually, Mr. Chair, we have settled the problem, but on the next day, the Anrituda did not follow because of the order from their, according to them, from their chief executive, sa mayor and Mr. Chair. On that matter, Mr. Chair, I think the chief executive of NABA should respect also the decision of Sangguniang Bayan, no? Because it was put on the meeting that we have to solve the problem on a win-win solution. A win-win solution that the Anrituda and Matuda will both benefit or benefited whatever nga mga pasahero ang magahalin ito sa Nabas area ang magahalin iya sa Malay, Mr. Chair. But unfortunately, the problem or the what we have discussed was not pushed through, Mr. Chair. So this time, Mr. Chair, we have a big problem with regards to the pagpasok ng Anrituda dito sa Malay. For how many years, Mr. Chair, if the boundary is the conflict, for how many years that our municipal monument, no, or the welcome boundary of Malay, thinking that it was recognized by Nabas? Because for how many years, wa manandagin tabing, wa manandagin guba, wa masandat later nga petition, or whatsoever, or any document showing that they are not in favor of that monument of Malay or boundary monument, Mr. Chair. Hay butang balon, di accept, anda nga ginbaton. Now, the problem, according to them, ito sa may series ang anda nga tricycle mauntat. So with due respect, Mr. Chair, I hope that our transportation officer and the Matuda, hay, antun ta nga i-implement. Una lang sa boundary nga ron sa monument nga ron, respetuhon anay nato nan unless nga ma-resolve natin ang problem. So I would like to emphasize this, Mr. Chair, to our transportation officer, since that the Anrituda will not listen to our pleadings, no, ato nga pagpangamuyo prayer sa anda nga ayuson, hay dapat sundo nanda do batas it banwa it Malay, Mr. Chair, and that monument boundary will be the basis for the meantime of our boundaries, since nga wa pamasitol masyado ang aton nga boundaries within the town of Nabas, Mr. Chair. Ay, kung wa nanda ginarespeto ran, dapat yung gubaon nanda ron Ay, wa man, Mr. Chair. Subutan balon, they respect and they recognize that monument boundary, Mr. Chair.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair,
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
I still
in addition to the statement of
okay,
Honorable
last
Galinero,
interpellation.
only just because if you're going to agree and follow the boundary determined by Municipal of Nabas, Mr. Chair, for the records, portion of Boracay belongs to them.
Okay. So I
Mr. Chairman,
officially
isa lang po just a reaction or in addition to the comments of
okay,
SB
okay.
Galinero.
Honorable Bautista.
Ay gusto ko lang masayran, Mr. Chairman. Is there any agreement came out before the transferring of the arrival area between the Nabas and Malay groups? So why is it that Haman may mga agreement?
After nga nag-transfer sa that Monday morning, pag sin session it barangay to at it was brought up nga nag-transfer, nag-call lagi kami pagkahapon it meeting with the Anrituda para nga madesisyonan and with the presence of SB Nabas and SB
Nabas
Jupiter
also
and
present. Is there anybody from?
There were 4.
SB.
So
Yes,
who
from
give the authority to make a decisions na pwede yun?
Nag-agree during the meeting.
So
sa
nga, who give
barangay.
the authority? The mayor,
Mr. Chair,
the council, municipal councilor, council, I mean.
Okay,
As
Honorable Galinero.
Para makuha, that meeting was called by our transportation officer being in charge of the transportation and the traffic in the municipality of Malay, dahil nga nagpatawag si Mr. Oxon dahil nga gakinagamon do Anrituda ag Matuda, no? Ang Matuda pag transfer it departure, no? Arrival, hay hindi doon makasulod ang tricycle it Malay into sa Nabas. Ito ta sa Nabas ay. Ang tricycle it Anrituda or Union Nabas makasulod bolsa nat pasayro to sa airport arrival, sulod iya sa GT Port. So nagreklamo ang Matuda, haman kami hindi makatod. So that's why nag-coordinate yata ang Nabas kag ang Malay through our transportation officer kag si SB Bolivar nga kung pwede ayuson. So that's why they called the attention through the barangay nga ito ma-meeting sa barangay nga ma-called ang attention it Anrituda ag Matuda and some sangguniang bayan members of Nabas and during that time ako lang yata ang available, so that's why I attended the meeting. So during the time it was discussed the win-win solution for yung una para nga hindi man maapektuhan ang Matuda, hindi man maapektuhan ang Anrituda. So there was a compromise agreement, no, between two towns that time represented by their officials nga may win-win solution and both agreed. Nag-agree tanan But after 2 days or 1 day, nag-iba taruan ng desisyon nga hindi sanda sundon ang amon nga agreement.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
So haman di na
Honorable
pagsundon Mr. Chairman na agreement, dahil hindi nga binding agreement nila eh. Di ba?
Mr. Chair, For my
Honorable,
understanding,
Guillermo.
it was a win-win solution to both parties because we have agreed that we have to set a joint session together with the Sangguniang Bayan of Nabas and Malay to formalize all that problems. But it so happened that our secretariats set a meeting or a joint session with the Sangguniang Bayan of Nabas, but until now they don't have any response, no?
So,
With
okay.
regards to
So,
that.
can
Okay,
I ask the
Honorable Bautista.
Secretary if what is the response from the isang bayan of Nabas, Mr. Chairman?
Madam Secretary, any update?
Mr. Chairman, I called on the office of the Sangguniang Bayan of Nabas regarding our request, and they informed me that the letter was referred to the Committee on Transportation, and accordingly, hindi po na magsugot si Mayor nga
See,
mag-joint session.
so meaning, Mr. Chairman, the two SB members who appeared during the meeting has no authority from the Nabas to make an agreement, such agreements. Mga nilo gina-question ko meaning the agreement of the time is not binding. Wa kasayo do mayor eh. And even sa meeting man niya sa aton sa LGU, wa man kasayo do si mayor. Look, that's a simple thing to be just to agree because there was a violation of the existing ordinance, both municipalities, Nabas and Malay, Mr. Chairman, because of the boundary. Kaya dapat siguro gin-implement anay what is the involved ang law, and then that's the time now we have to discuss ito na nga we have to agree on this win-win solution. Kung wag win-win mo na nga walang basis. Or else the problem. Ito nangyari,
Mr. Chair,
Okay, Honorable Gallinero.
I think during that time, Mr. Chair, we acted as a public official of this municipality to address the problems of the both sides. Immediate, because kailangan ng si Mayor, iwa gani gatwan eh. So, ang botang balo namon, Mr. Chair, nga ginobraanay namon ang pwede nga maobra together with the transportation officer of both municipalities para maayos ang problema. Dahil naiwasan naton nga magkinagulo sanday. Dahil nagaabang ron ng Andrituda, na mangsakit sanda, nagaabang man na matuda, masukol man sanda. So that's why we come up with that decision, Mr. Chair, nga imit sanda sa barangay. So siguro with the presence of the barangay captain, ay nagkasugot ang barangay captain of Union, ginistoryahan tanan. Although it is not binding because it was not informed the office of the mayor, but I think the transportation officer is a unit head under the office of the mayor. And he was in charge of our transportation. So that's why he called that meeting para magkaroon lang ng temporary solution because both Matuda and Andrituda, mainit ang ulo eh. Sulod man na kamo ay hindi ka mo makabalik sa inyo. So, with that threat, Mr. Chair, we have to act, no? As a public official, we have to act para malisin naton ang hindi pag-intindihanay ag ang posible nga magkinagulo. And at the time, we come up with a decision nga ma-joint session to formalize everything. Nga kung ano ang mayad para sa Matuda ag Andrituda, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Thank
Honorable Manning.
Trading. Dali ang Mr. Chairman.
okay,
Mga
Honorable
Mr.
Bautista.
Chairman, bago-baga. Dahil may violation sa itong ordinance eh. Dapat kung gusto it Nabas, hindi pasudlon ang Malay. Hindi man to sa pasudlon dahil sa ordinansa nato may violation eh. Dapat ka-implement ang ordinance, bawal ka mo yan, nalang ka mo yaman kami. And then after that, June that time, ito karong mag-istoryahan ano mayad. Eh, hindi na pasudlon kita ito. Di man to sa pasudlon sa ato. Hindi mo dapat anay kung taon eh. But to avoid any violations. Dahil they are implementing the ordinance, kita uwag kami implementar. So, lugi kita.
Honorable
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, that's why we acted, no? Because ang gusto namon nga matabo, ang gusto nanda it Andrituda. Hatod namon sa boundary nyo, hambal it Malay, sige, hatod nyo, saulo namon. Through the expense of our guest. So, haron ang isa nga gindipinsahan naton, Mr. Chair, ang aton nga mga turista, nga ang problema naton, bahasi itaon naton sa turista. What we agreed is a win-win solution. A win-win solution that the Andrituda magbutang it 15 ka tricycle, ang Matuda magbutang it 15 ka tricycle, alternate ang pagbiyahe para nga hindi mahulaan ang aton bisita. Dahil for the first place, ang aton bisita sa airport pagwa na bisan shade uwa. Pag-abot sa transportation, problema gihapon. Our guest visiting Boracay just to relax. Hindi ba? Para nga sa transportation pa lang, pag paraog pa lang aeroplano, sakit ron sa ulo. Ay, anong matabo? Actually, we acted because we want that our tourists be in comfort.
Okay. Okay, so
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Klaro na ito, Mr. Chairman.
Bautista.
Hindi man ito pwede i-compromise atong regulasyon, Mr. Chairman eh.
Kung kulang, di butangan nato ito shed sa boundary. Di ba? Ayaw mag-abot nga isang daya sa Pilipinas, so kayo ng lugar, lang asang kuro lang diferensya, di sa lagi ito si chairman eh. So yung mga nega problema ta dahil because aron nga ni consideration, no, there must be, you cannot compromise the regulation dahil sa consideration. Tingnan mo nga nangyari ngayon, Mr. Chairman, dahil sa consideration.
Okay.
So we have to abide what is, ano ba ang lagi, you have to follow it. Yan ang problema, Mr. Chairman, sa aton eh. So kung problema na ito na bisita, okay, we have to provide, butangan na ito, shade ito, butang abo-abo, itang butangan na nga trapal para matabunan sa nagdibinitan eh. Pero sundon na ito ang regulasyon.
Okay, so we will refer that to the two committees, no? To conduct honorable Batista.
Abot yung muna sa punto, sanda ang reklamo eh. Balik kasi kita huwag yung reklamo. Sa manamit ba eh, kita ang awag na. Hindi, dako na ito sa. So, i-refer daw sa ano ang ground committee.
Sa boundary ka na rin?
Boundary, ano yan?
So, asubaw, tawag ito na taas.
Oo.
Hindi na pwede sa laro na.
Saro lang ako, i-implement ang tanawo na ito nun, kung ang araw na desisyon is kapikto nga ito, labanon na ito. Pero kung ang boundary ng kabot na ito, naman, implement na ito eh.
Kung may questions na ako, isa lang mag-question.
Siguro.
So, ato implement na sa
Hindi, ang ubrahon, i-survey ninyo ang utos na may kwan. Utoya, anong ano?
Hindi, ganito sa mag-joint survey.
Ipabasa na ko na.
Kita na eh. Kita na din sa napag-ilaki.
Kasama na kaya doon.
Pero na ako, klaro bang dyan eh. Ang whole of tabon port.
Tika pipon, ay loro mo bravo.
Diba, anak na pa siya?
Anak mo na. Grabe.
Oo. Pag-ginawa kita.
Ang harap ang pagbulan na gali.
Oo. Ang claim ng dahil tabon, hasta dito sa punta at ng...
Andara ang survey.
Yun. Uto ta sa may tabon ta na palikuan ng tabon mo kano ka. Trabaho ng drawing.
Araw, andaraw.
Oo.
Sa pamana gali ang palit ng lulo ko.
Oh, diyan ka na tapos magsungko na to ang claim na tabon na to sa punta na to katikla na to. Anda tanan ang tabon pati ang port. So sa laran tungod kung imo interpretahon ang provincial resolution ay whole of tabon ta na ana at Malay.
Sinong nag-implement municipal boundaries? Hindi ba provincial?
Provincial.
Sa kanila. Ay 1956 na nang basihan ko, mo ito ah? Sada?
Ang tabon na lang ato, hindi tanan nga tabon asa sa pihak ato na ni. Mo sa
hindi yan ang tabon no, tanong mo. Pati harabo ng daraw.
Andang ginaano, baitan ang boundary.
Buo ng daraw.
Hindi yan ano, yan.
Harabo andas ana ba?
Wala mo ang claim nanda. Tungod daya, tunga itlo-lupo anda. Ang tabon nga gusto ba nanda just by bayad nga sa katiklan ng tabon. Ang haya nga anda tandaran. So sala tungod ang sa board resolution, the whole of tabon anak Malay. So ang haya gusto kat tong yaw.
What mo butang tabon point sa resolution?
Oh, ay hasta na sa kayo. Kung i-interpret mo ang resolution.
Inubra na siguro abot at anak pa no. Ganara may iba no may 1956 no.
Sino
Oh, 1956 so.
Hindi nga yung butang boundary ng Wednesday. Tsaka dahil na ako yung Malay, tsaka yung...
Ano raw? Anda ta para.
Atong tayo,
authentic dyan.
tsaka yung butang. Pero ang andang nag-claim na bas, ang tsaka ng
tayo.
ay ginawa siya ng dawa, kasi na't makita to.
Ang hati dyan, ipa-authenticate, ano na itong dyan. Kung tuod rin, basta kung bukod ang tuod na. Yun know, yung create, ano ba gata mo? One kita mo, authenticated di mo. Dali siya magpilit sa dali mo lang mga magpulpas para ito, direkto.
Grabe niya, ball kita ng
Hindi na mga marker na daran.
Yatong jadi podo.
Jam di foto daw. Ay ang claim ay dito na gito, mana mo daw.
Ay imbis naman ako.
Oh.
Wala pa to.
Mana ko ta nakaraan.
Gamon na
So may problema ang solusyon tungod at tanan nga tabon, tungod ay tabon dito tawag kayo eh. At Malay. Kali may mapa nga gawa ko. Problema.
Tausan na, pati Boracay.
Honorable Batista namin sa i-refer ito sa ating legal counsel dyan.
Masaro, 1956, kung may kasada na 1956, kung may kasada na ron. Kawin na kawin. Oh, pag action na nga kasada na, connected kasada. Binuktangan sa dara.
Resolution, because normally, if there is corresponding sketch plan, it should be stated in the resolution that attached herewith is the sketch of the said boundaries. Pupunta lang nakabutan mo dyan. So, that is still debatable, and we will probably ask our legal counsel also to study, no, the said resolution and the sketch plan that were attached on the resolution. In the meantime, it will be the responsible of the two committees to coordinate with the legal counsel and also try to get or that this document should be authenticated, no, para ma-share na ito ng sakto. Okay? So we will proceed. If is there any other privilege speech?
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Poxolero.
Thank you. Actually, Mr. Chair, since in consonance to the trust of the total government of Malay, Mr. Chair, to clean up or fix, no, Boracay Island in a proper order, no, and in compliance also with the national government's orders. No. I noticed, Chair, no, you know, all types of cable wires throughout the island is looks like now a spaghetti, no? And I'd like to suggest if we can invite all companies engaged in cable installation in Boracay so that we can discuss, because it an added eye source, no, to everybody, and cause also, no, accident to everyone, Mr. Chair. So my recommendation is if we can invite all these companies, no, engaged in installation of the hanging, no, cable wires and diagram, so that we can discuss, especially like Akilco, yung mga poste nila, then cable Paradise, I think PCTV also, and Patilco, even Globe, Mr. Chair. Hindi kasi maganda yung mga kanila, yung pag-install. So, pwede naman ayusin ng Mr. Chair. I don't know if the members of this body would agree. So, I'd like to invite them to next regular session, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Mr. Honorable Pilidero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With that observation of Honorable Pagsugiro, Mr. Chair, actually, last 2012 or 13, Mr. Chair, if I'm not mistaken, we called attention of all the concessionaires with regards to their wires, particularly the Aklan Electric Cooperative, Paradise Cable, Calibo Cable, and some other companies, Mr. Chair, to fix their lines, no? And somehow, fix man natin, di ba? Pero as of this time, no, makita natin halos wagin, no? So I've talked to the DNR with regards to the Aklan Electric Cooperative. According to them, those posts included or are erected right now on the 6+6, no? They have to order also the Aklan Electric Cooperative and other companies to set back, according to them, no? But to the wires, ay matsa wata. So actually, nagpa-committee hearing kita before, and those companies were involved are nagpangako nga andaman ayuson, Mr. Chair. But until now, wagid, Mr. Chair, because according to them, very costly, no? Very costly. So I think as of this time, no, since that we are rehabilitating Boracay, it's high time to talk to them and let their mess be cleaned up, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay, last week, if you will notice, there were new posts that were installed by Akelco, and Honorable Bautista and I have observed that they're not following the setback of the road. And that's why I called up, personally I called up the President of Akelco to comply with the easement of the road while they are installing new posts. So in that case, we will ask Akelco, Pantelco, PCTV, and Calibo Cable to attend to our next session. Okay? Honorable Graf?
Mr. Chair, good morning again. I'd like to raise this issue. No, I think it's been a topic of so many conversations, and not only conversations, also it's been mentioned in the Congress by our mayor that the Roro boats should leave the municipality of Malay already. It's like it's not anymore ideal to have a Roro here, considering the number of boats anchored in our municipal waters, including the cruise ships. But actually, it's more of the Roro that we should already look at the direction of having it removed in the municipality of Malay. It's adding burden to the traffic in Katiklan because the passengers, the vehicles, the buses, it clogs the whole area. And it's not anymore nice, no, even for the people that are taking the Roro to be stuck in the traffic there, and including all the other vehicles going to Katiklan because of that. And aside from that, we have also to consider the areas where they're anchoring the boat while we are waiting for their slot, diba? So they anchor anywhere, and until now, we have not identified yet an area really where they can anchor safely away from the corals or whatever is in there, no? So I don't know if our body here will be thinking the same way as what have been approached, what have been mentioned by the mayor in the Congress. And it's really true. We really want to share our island with everybody, even to our, all the Filipinos or even foreigners that are taking the Roro. But considering the situation now, and it's burden, no, to our area in Katiklan, and we have not seen a pier anywhere in the Philippines that are clean. So I think it's about time that we think like that. I think there will be many other towns that will welcome that Roro, so that they will also benefit from the economic development in municipality of Malay, no? In the tourism industry. So I think there will be other towns that will welcome that Roro, so that we will ease the how you call it, the congestion in Katiklan area, Mr. Chair.
Okay. I had a chance to talk to the good mayor of Buruanga, Mayor Labindao, and she really welcomed the transfer of the Roro port in Buruanga, no? So on that note, Honorable Grap, I think we will come up with a resolution that will be addressed to the Philippine Ports Authority for them to construct immediate construction of port in Buruanga, so that this Roro boat shall utilize the Buruanga port, no?
Mr. Presiding, I think the road operation in the jetty port is run by the provincial government, diba? They have the MOA, no, on its operation. Actually, how many times during my term, and even that was 2013, that the PPA is requesting for delineation of that area for to make it as an industrial port, Mr. Chairman. So, but this time, I think Buruanga is not ready yet to accept the operation of Roro, since they have no port yet. And maybe it took maybe years to construct really port, Mr. Chairman, since it is not only a GT, but it really catering big ships, no? And Roro are big ships also. So we have two resolutions, I think, that or denials, no, in its delineation. That for how many times, really many years, that we did not allow PPA to make some other additional construction of ports, Mr. Chairman. So maybe we have to address the problem to the issue to the provincial government, because they are not the one operating the Roro, not the PPA. Subsiding.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Pagsugiro.
I think the problem for the Roro vessel is that they are anchoring, no, within the territorial jurisdictions of Malay, Mr. Chair, and I think the provincial government has nothing to do about it, no, and so I think we have the LGU Malay has the authority, no, to at least to question the anchoring of the Roro vessels, no, within our municipal waters, Mr. Chair. Di bali sa pier sa provincial government.
Okay, Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ever since, no, we have a lot of communication already stating that the Roro should be transferred in some other municipalities in the province of Baclan. But until now, Mr. Chair, there was no result replied to us, no, what happened, no. So I think this time, since that to decongest, no, the traffic, particularly in Barangay Katiklan, and of course the overcrowded during the arrival and departure of Roro, together with our arrivals, no, of our tourists, minsan nagkakagulo sa jetty port, and it's not healthy already, Mr. Chair, that we have this Roro on our world-class jetty port, because usually the Roro catered locals, and sometimes, Mr. Chair, truck nga mga baka, kanding, and then isabay mo sa turista. So it smells no good, Mr. Chair, and it sounds no good, Mr. Chair. So I think it's high time that we have to, the provincial government, they should accept that Roro terminal is not appropriate in a world-class Katiklan jetty port, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Aaron.
In addition, this morning I was informed by one of the member of Kagawad, wherein a resident of Buruanga, Aklan, that he is asking me also for the transfer of the Roro in Buruanga, and according to Mayor Labindao, soon the Roro will be at Buruanga Pier.
Okay. Is there any construction in Buruanga of a port?
I think there is a mini port. Oo, they have. I think a few days from now.
Okay. Anyway, we will send a resolution to PPA to expedite their construction.
But before, Mr. Chair, I think we have to ask a certain committee to investigate if that is for Roro. Maybe we are talking it's not for Roro, no? So mas maya siguro nga ipa-check natin to sa committee on infrastructure or
Mr. President,
Honorable Bautista.
I would like to ask the Honorable Gallinero, because he said world-class jetty port, is that a commendation or a sarcasm?
Actually, Mr. Chair, that's what they called, no, the provincial government, because before they said it was a world-class terminal.
Okay, so just say, put the praise as they said.
As they said, it's a world-class terminal. Thank you for that comments, Honorable Bautista.
Okay. Anyway, for sure the port in Buruanga is really the purpose is for the Roro ship. So the only way we can help is to send a resolution asking the PPA to expedite their construction. And we will also come up with a resolution that we will no longer allow the utilization of our municipal water because the port is not ours. So for the Roro ship to anchor anywhere in the jurisdiction of the municipal water of Malay.
Actually, Mr. Presiding,
Honorable Bautista.
the right side portion of that port is belongs to PPA. That's why they have the MOA between the government and the PPA was been made, since the right portion of the port is belongs to PPA. So, and they have the MOA. So I think we have to inform them that we are discouraging now if I think when they started again, there was already a renewal, and maybe for 3 or 4 years, maybe after that renewal, maybe we have to inform them that the discouraging now the renewal again of that MOA, Mr. Chairman. So as of now, we cannot say that we have to stop the operation, since the port maybe is under construction in Barangay Buruanga until such time that it will be operational. So, but this time we have to inform them, the two parties, the agency, the PPA and the government, to discourage now the renewal of its MOA, since we will not allow the Niruru to anchor in our area of jurisdiction, Mr. Trading.
Okay. Thank you. So is there any other privilege?
So
Honorable
if that's the what you call it, if my colleague here shares our impression, or how you call that, our how we see the Roro contributing to our community, no, in Boracay. So is it are we ready to create or make a resolution endorsing the Roro to be not anymore that Roro will contract or whatever should not be renewed in the municipality of Malay?
Actually, it's premature at the moment because it was just renewed last year. As mentioned by Honorable Bautista, they have 4 years, I think, memorandum of agreement. The only way we can help is, that's why I'm suggesting to come up with a resolution asking the Philippine Port Authority to expedite their construction, because if the port in Buruanga is ready, that's the time we will really push for the transfer of the operation of Roro ship in Buruanga.
But Mr. Chair, we can also
Honorable
use the
Graf.
situation now, no, that Roro's addition to Katiklan is too much to handle by our municipality anymore.
Yes, we're one of your observation.
We are in the right time to assert that kind of endorsement, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable
one more,
Bautista.
I think this is a very big issue, Mr. Chairman, regarding now the problem in Boracay now. And we even heard of so many comments, or maybe some, even a lot of discussions and concerns now that the LGU officials maybe not wipe out. They are building up cases, no, against local officials, barangay, municipal, and provincial. Kung tanaw mo, Chairman, no problema nga tao sa Boracay ba nga tao sa gabagasugan no. They are reckoning now from 2008 until 2018, bakit napabayaan daw. Boracay is still under with TISA dahil because of still sa 1801 dineclared ang Boracay before as marine reserve and tourist zone. So under pa rin sa ng PTA, Mr. Chairman, based on the Presidential Decree 189, and it was amended by PD 564. Ito na nga ang from PTA to TISA. But still, yung function ng PTA ay inabsorb pa rin ng TISA. Kung tingnan natin, Mr. Chairman, itong TISA, ano bang TISA? So ito yung Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority.
So, that's why ito ang TISA sa Boracay dahil nga because of PTA. Yung mga infrastructure projects diyan na sila noon ang nag-operate because ang Boracay nga is under ng PTA. Sino ngayon ang mga board members ng TISA? Based on, kung tingnan natin, Mr. Chairman, itong Tourism Act of 2009, mayroon akong kopya ito ng RA 9593. Ito yung implementing rules and regulations of itong Tourism Act. Ang board of directors pala dito, Mr. Chairman, is Chapter 2, the TISA Board. Mr. Chairman, can I read? Section 55, the TISA Board. The powers and functions of TISA Board shall be exercised by Board of Directors to be composed the following. The powers and functions of TISA shall be exercised by the Board of Directors to be composed of the following. Letter A, Department Secretary as Chairperson, meaning Secretary of Tourism. Letter B, the TISA Chief Operating Officer as a Vice Chairperson. Number 3, the Chief Operating Officer as member. The Department of Public Works and Highways Secretary as member. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources as member Secretary. The Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary as a member. And then 5 representative directors to be appointed by the President upon recommendation of Tourism Congress from the list of 3 nominees coming from its members from its development sectors. Ano yung mga sectors? Tourism, Estate Development and Management Services. Number 2, Accommodation Enterprises, Air, Land, Sea Tourism Transport Services, Travel and Tours Enterprises, and other accredited tourism enterprises. Kung tingnan natin, Mr. Chairman, ito pala mga tatlong 4 agencies, the DPWS, the DILG, the DNR, the DOT, malaki pala ang obligasyon and responsibility sa Boracay, Mr. Chairman. Ang ngayon, sinisisi ng LGU. So, kung tingnan natin, sila ngayon ang malaki palang, they will be charging us of serious neglect of duty. Pero kung tingnan natin sila, wala ba silang neglect of duty? Kasama sila dyan. Ngayon, itong Secretary Dancing, siya ngayon nag-case build up sa mga local officials. Every municipalities, kung tingnan natin, Mr. Chairman, all the tourist area, yung mga tourist destinations in the Philippines, ano yun? Not only Boracay, Panglao, Coron, El Nido, si Argao, Puerto Galera, halos parehong problema, Mr. Chairman eh. So ano ang ginagawa ng itong mga departments na to? And then, ngayon problema daw, ang barangay chairman daw is under supervision ng mayor, and then the mayor is under supervision ng provincial governor. So sino ngayon nag-supervise ng provincial governor? The DLG, siyempre. In every municipalities, mayroon tayong DLGOO. Anong ginagawa nila? Kung mayroon pala silang function, itong oversight function, bakit pinabayaan nila ang mga LGU na pabayaan yung mga obligasyon lang, Mr. Chairman? So sila ito may malaking serious neglect of duty. Not only the public officials. Or hindi sana nangyari sa Boracay, Mr. Chairman eh. DNR has the office in Boracay. DOT, mayroong opisina dyan. DLG, mayroong ditong DLG. Why it took them, he is now reckoning daw, sabi ni Secretary Dancing, he is reckoning 2008 to 2018, 10 years. Anong ginawa nila for 10 years? Bakit pinabayaan ng LGU na pabayaan ng ang Boracay? Sila, saan sila? Okay, ngayon lang, sa 2016 lang siya pumasok. But almost 2 years na dyan si Secretary Tio, Mr. Chairman. Anong ginawa niya? Ngayon lang, akala mo kung sino na, Boracay, ito si Boracay. Kung sabi ni Secretary Roque, ang basehan ni Presidente ay yung issue, yung ginawa na issue ni Ted Filon. So meaning, kundi pala pinalabas ni Ted Filon, wala silang ginawa, Mr. Chairman. For almost 2 years. Yung sabi ni Secretary Roque, when I attended na yung sa BFI meeting, yung sabi niya, so without Ted Filon, di nila alam ang nangyayari sa Boracay. So anong ginagawa ng TISA? At itong mga secretaries nito, which are members of the board ng TISA. So sila muna investigahan, Mr. Chairman, why may negligence din sa kanila. Dito naman, Mr. Chairman, no, tingnan natin. I have the Provincial Ordinance number 05-1032. Ang ganda ng Mr. Chairman, title. An ordinance implementing the regulations of the one entry, one exit policy from Boracay Island for preservation, protection, security and safety of the provincial tourism assets and resources and prescribing penalties for based on thereof. Preservation, protection. Ano ang ginawa na ordinansang ito? When we talk about preservation and protections. Kaya nga, ito bagasuhan yung ginman kita, mura ra mga grupo nga dapat basugon man. Yes. Not only the LGUs, the chairman.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Honorable Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In addition to the statement of Honorable Bautista, Mr. Chair, actually the President pronounced that the Boracay is ceaseful. Why ceaseful? Before they said, wag na tayong magturuan, magtulungan na lang tayo. But this time, Mr. Chair, the statement of the national agencies, Mr. Chair, saying that they will file cases, serious neglect of duty to the provincial government, to the local, to the municipality of Malay, and to the barangays. But look, Mr. Chair, sinubla ang nagubait Boracay. It's the CHESA for me because the project of the CHESA, which is the drainage system, nanda matapos 14, how many years? 10 years? So, why? Ibalik na sa lokal. The same thing with the sewer, Mr. Chair. It was, sabihin natin, ano ba tawag nila dyan? Joint venture or PPA? Joint venture because of the CHESA or the DOT, ano bang under the BIWC, no? So, CHESA, may share pa rin yung CHESA dyan. Bakit ngayon, ibabalik nila sa local government? Although, hindi naman natin sinasabi na wala na tayong pagkukulang doon. Of course, meron tayong pagkukulang. Yun nga, sabi ni Honorable Bautista, dapat tinutukan din tayo ng DILG. O kayo ha, hindi nyo ginagawa yung ano nyo, bakit ngayon lang? So, I mean, Mr. Chair, parang wala silang kasalanan, no? Parang tayo lang lahat dito sa lokal. Kung inayos nila yung drainage system niyan, Mr. Chair, siguro hindi nagkaganon yung isla ng Boracay. So, sino ba ngayon ang dapat nating pupukpukin yan? Sino ba yung dapat nating pasagutin? Bakit hindi man lang sinabi ni Secretary Teo, oy, Chisa, ano yung ginawa nyo sa drainage system ng Boracay? 'Di ba? So, kung naayos na yan, Mr. Chair, siguro hindi nagkaroon ng pronouncement yung ating presidente na ceaseful yung Boracay. But, Mr. Chair, hindi naman tayo naghuhugas ng kamay, but sabi nga nila dapat tulong-tulungan natin. Pero ngayon, yung pronouncement naman ng ating Undersecretary ng DILG that all local governments basic ma-wipe out. So, if that is the case, Mr. Chair, wala naman tayong magawa dyan. It's up to the decision, no? Kung ano yung magiging decision. But they have to ask themselves, ano bang ginawa ninyo? Ano bang ginawa nila? That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Mr. Chair?
Honorable Pagsugiron.
Nasabi na rin yung turuan na lang, Mr. Chair. This is my personal observation, Mr. Chair. Pag-usapan natin yung Department of Tourism under the leadership of Secretary Teo. 2 years na nga eh. Pero sa totoo lang, wala akong nakikitang may ginawa siya sa Boracay Island in terms of promotion, Mr. Chair, no? Hindi nga siya nakapunta, parang isang beses pa lang, no? And then, pagdating naman sa CHESA, yun nga, ang nag-trigger kasi, Mr. Chair, ng problema, ever since, ang tagal ko na sa naging SB member, Mr. Chair, at ang tagal ko na rin nire-raise yung issue tungkol sa drainage system, hindi nagawa ng paraan ng CHESA, Mr. Chair, no? That's why, kung pwede nga, I would like to propose na to file a class suit against CHESA, Mr. Chair, the local government of Malay. And then sa DNR, Mr. Chair, issue sa WISCOB. Nag-trigger ang issue sa WISCOB in lieu of the issuance of plug T by DNR, Mr. Chair. Kaya, tingnan mo, si Chris, protektado ng DNR, kaya naging abusado. Kaya nadeklara ng LGU na persona non grata, Mr. Chair. And plus, yung mga declared areas na wetland and forest and timberland, Mr. Chair, sino naggumawa ng mukan? Look at Lake Town, Mr. Chair. Yung Penro mismo terminated na ngayon, nag-issue na mga certification. O, di ano nangyari nyo sa wetland? Di sila naman yung taga-DNR, Mr. Chair, ang nagka-problema. Ang daming wetland ngayon na mayroon ng backfilling at saka mayroon ng mga existing structure, Mr. Chair. So, yung sisi nila sa local government, dapat tingnan din nila yung agency nila, Mr. Chair. No? So, yun din ang personal observation ko na malaki din ang kasalanan ng DOT, DNR, and CHISA, Mr. Chair. So, that's all.
Okay.
Ayun, no? Okay. Additional, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Aaron.
I would like to, since yesterday, there is also a meeting in MDRRMC office regarding the letter of regional disaster risk reduction on the declaration of state of calamity. I think it was requested to the local government to report mga assessments na yun on what will happen when there is a declaration already. So, I asked, it can be nga makadeclare kita it's state of calamity for 3 barangays and hindi man dapat kita mag-declare dahil uwa man gid it calamity, no? We don't like the closure since but uwa ga coordinate ang national government to the local government. Ano ba talaga ang ubrahon sa aton nga island of Boracay since that's it. If there is a need for infrastructure, pwede ba na regarding first the closure, pwede ba na dapat ang i-close is ang naka-violates, open, go on operation for the para wa masyadong maapektuhan. Or, kung may need sa infrastructure, pwede ba na phase by phase? Phase 1, manok-manok close. Pero go on operation ang Balabag and Yapak. And then Balabag, go on operation close. Go on operation ang manok-manok and Yapak. Then Yapak, go on operation ang Balabag and manok. Kung may infra nga dapat ubrahon gid imaw that can affect us. So, okay naman siguro sa atin yun dahil basta we are coordinated. But as of now, wa tat klaro sa aton local government ano gid na ang ubrahon it national government i-close ang aton island when in fact we don't like closure. Matabo pa kung ma-declare it state of calamity, kita dayon ang ma-absorb it, ma-displace nga mga residents, displaced workers, problema naton sa local government. So ano aton himuon? So, that's why I am asking why there is no clear information. Ano ba talaga ang ubrahon sa island of Boracay? And then, kung clear, and then, we will also agree on what will be the, then we will explain to our constituents. Right now, aton constituents, nagatalang-talang regarding this issue, this threat to us. So, hindi pa talaga maklaro lahat kung ano ba talaga. Thank you.
Okay. Is it related, Honorable Graf, to the privilege of Honorable Bautista?
Yes.
Proceed.
It's about the Bulabog side and some other areas in Boracay, no, ang ginamba na to, no, 25+5. Because for the information of everybody, majority of the establishments in Bulabog, the hotels, the residential, are all inside the 25+5 according to them. So, Miss Alma, called for a technical conference with the DNR. And then after that, we were also in the meeting with the, when we were tackling, there was a 3 days, medyo workshop. And Alma was surrounded by lawyers. And she was alone there. So when I went there, she was asking a lot of the lawyers, why is it that the demarcation or the reference in Bulabog was not coordinated with the LGU Malay? Because what we did is we issued them building permits, based on what they've seen there. And then they just said, oh, there's another one, which we only know. I mean, why did you tell us now lang when it was already there long time ago? We could have, these people are built on in good faith, no? Because thinking that they are very legal, and suddenly you find yourself half of your building is removed or the entire building is removed because there's already marker. And so those are the things nga medyo confusing for us, because why is it that for many, many years they never called our attention? There is such a thing as another reference point in measuring the 25 plus 5, because when we measured that, we based it on the mean high tide. So now we are having a big problem, because if those establishments will sue us because they built on in good faith, no? They paid a lot of millions of pesos to develop their property, and one day they will just be told to vacate. If not vacate, demolish, or you'll go to jail. That's the pronouncement of the DNR. So I think it is our although the mayor already yesterday he said he's gonna set up mga areas in where the issues with regards to the 25 plus 5, the wetland or the forest land, there will be already help where they can go there and show their documents, so that they will be guided accordingly, so they will not go to jail, because that's how they are. On 5 days you have to leave this place or you will go to jail. So what will happen to our constituent? Nervyos bagang iba, atakihon sa puso, pwede, no? High blood, pwede nga, I mean, many things can happen. O iba mag-amok, masamad ng uwo, di ba? I mean, these are the things that we have to, because they did not coordinate clearly with the local government long time ago, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So, Mr.
Honorable
Chair,
Bautista.
I have still an addition, Mr. Chair, on regarding the meeting of the Regional Development Council. So now they're planning to declare calamity, state of calamity ba? What calamity they're talking about, Mr. Chairman? Sa ngayon, yung outfall, no, of that drainage, since the drainage now, itong collection point ng tubig, yung pumping station is operated ng BIWC, which has turned over ng TIESA sa BIWC. Pinutol, did they close now the outflow, no, of that pumping station? So kung tingnan mo ang Bulabong, malinis ng tubig ngayon doon. So, ang purpose nila daw is in order to release funds na mabilis, na di nawala ng bidding. Ano pa bang i-bid nila? Ongoing na construction ng drainage system sa Chairman sa Bulabog eh. That's what I think, the 299 million. So ano pa bang? So, di ba meron ng budget almost 1 billion for bidding? Ano pang budget na kailangan na bilisan? Diyan i-implement na ngayon yung drainage system diyan. And then even Lusyutan now is offering to help the construction of the drainage system. And I was surprised this morning when Secretary Yusik Dancing was interviewed by Jiri Baha Dinsing. Hindi niya pala alam na mayroong narinig nga daw niya na si Lusyutan is offering in order to construct the drainage system. For 2 weeks, alam mga natin sa LGU, siya hindi niya alam. Narinig lang daw niya. So, Mr. Chairman, parang sometimes there's doubt sa ginagawa nila ito. No, Mr. Chairman? Diba? Tingnan natin. And then even the president now is asking the justification for their recommendation for closure. So meaning, nag-recommend sila ng closure, wala man palang justification. Ano justification? Paglaruan nila yung Boracay, Mr. Chairman eh. Darating daw yung DSWD, yung Duli daw. For what? Do you think the DSWD can give, let's say, 18,000 workers? Mabigyan ba na ng pira yan? Cash for work daw. Anong cash for work? Palinisin na sa kalsada yung mga managers. What do you want to do? Ito mga HRM na itong mga ano bang cash for works, 'di ba? Naglilinis yung purpose natin. They will do that the same. And then DTI will come in, pwede mag-loan for what? Business? Ano business? Wala na ng turismo eh. And this province is rely lang sa tourism industry. Ngayon, anong business ay pasok mo? Yung nagtawa ako, Mr. Chairman, sa mga linalabas nilang mga statement eh. Through radio, to TV, television.
Hindi ko alam, ano ba ang ginagawa nilang to? So, I don't know. I think the chairman, kung pwede, they have to appear in this plenary to discuss really. Ano ba talaga ang gusto nyo? If they will close Boracay, they have to close all other tourism areas. Because we have the same problems with other islands. Anong ginawa ng departments na to? So, I think it should be, yes, maganda yung ng Malacanang na they have to justify. So, meaning walang justification yung kanilang recommendation for closure. Thomas, sabi pa niya, yung malaking hotel daw, kaya naman bayar for 6 months ma-close, kaya bayaran. Paano kami utang sa bangko yan? Hindi ba nila iniisip yan, Mr. Chairman? Yung maliit daw, kawawa, maliit, okay, tulungan daw ng gobyerno. Pero yung malaki daw, 6 months, kaya man daw. Kami utang nga sa bangko. Sino babayad sa bangko niyan? So, ang mangyayari, they would be, ma-embargo yung mga properties niyan. Hindi ba na iniisip na the whole province of Aklan is really relying on tourism industry? So not only Boracay, but the whole province, Mr. Chairman. Ano mangyayari yung sa mga sakyan, yung mga van na yan, ni Powerhouse, utang sa bangko yan. For 6 months o 3 months lang di makabayad, may embargo ng bangko yan. Iniisip ba nila yan, Mr. Chairman? Labas ng palabas ng statements na parang hindi nila alam na sinasabi nila. Tapos after ko sa rehabilitation, may soft opening. Kadali mong sabi ng soft opening. Uy, it take years para bumalik yung mga turista, Mr. Chairman. So, hindi ko alam kung ano to. So, I'm against on the declaration of a state of calamity, Mr. Chairman, from Boracay.
Mr. Chair?
Okay. Honorable Pagsugiron.
Closing Boracay Island, Mr. Chair, is not absolute solution, Mr. Chair. The people will suffer, the business will suffer, LGU Malay will suffer, provincial government will suffer, national government will suffer, and the tourists will suffer. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay. So, Honorable
Mr. Chair.
Gallinero.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In addition to the statement of Honorable Bautista and Honorable Pagsugiron, Mr. Chair, that's why, Mr. Chair, ginapamangkot natin kung tasanda kung how ready they are when closing Boracay. Ano bang programa nyo sabi nila, pupunta yung Duli. Kailan sila pupunta pag sarado ng Boracay? Anong hanap buhay yung ibibigay ng Duli within that 18,000 workers? Yun sa hotels pa lang yun. How about yung iba pa? So, I think, Mr. Chair, ilatag sana nila ano ba talaga yung solusyon nyo. After closing Boracay, what will be the next? Ano bang i-rehab natin? Yung gibain yung mga buildings, yung mga naka-encroach? Or you have any other tourism activity or another tourism na pupuntahan ang isla ng Boracay? Ayusin yung drainage, ayusin yung sewer. So I think, Mr. Chair, we all need that, no? Para ipaliwanag din sa ating mga kababayan kung ano ba talaga yung proyekto, kasi they are saying that they have to close down for rehabilitation, and after close down, anong i-rehabilitate? Okay, sewer, probably, ang drainage. So, pero yung mga na-displace mo na workers, what's your program? Ano ba yung dapat gawin? And then, there are some, Mr. Chair, the DNR is issuing notice to vacate to some other, according to them, squatters or illegally putting their structures on the government land. According to them, I think it's 800 individuals who are violating those rules and regulation, Mr. Chair. And they were given 15 days notice to vacate. So when or else they have to demolish their structure. Let's say, for example, I follow the order, I demolish. Where I put my debris? Saan ko ilalagay yan? Saan ako titira? Iyon lang yung lupa ko, Mr. Chair. Iyon lang yung bahay ko. Are they have any programs for relocation? Meron bang kung lahat yan mamaya tumira sa gitna ng kalsada? So yun dapat, Mr. Chair, kasi okay, it's part of the rehabilitation, but they must prepare. Pag nag-demolish ako, saan ako titira? Iyon lang yung pinakalupa ko. Yan ngayon yung tanong ng ating mga kababayan. Ano ba talaga yung programa nila? Saan ba kami lilipat? Iyon lang yung bahay namin. So I think that problem only can be addressed. Mas maganda, di ba? May relocation site kami, doon muna kayo. Doon kayo magtayo. Ay wala din na naipaliwanag sa atin, Mr. Chair. Magutom yung 800 na yan. Sabi nga ni, even doon, no, may nakausap tayo sa taga-DNR, sabi niya, alam mo, pag yung 800 na yan, may isang pandesal itapon sa akin, hindi na ako mutwa sa pandesal. You see? So, dahil nga wala tayong perfect or concrete na solusyon para doon sa mga ma-displaced. Parang, bahala kayo kung saan kayo pupunta. Parang ganun yung nangyayari, Mr. Chair. So, I think the national government must see to it na kung yung sa Manila nga yung mga squatters, no, natutuong squatters, or they call it professional squatters, may pabahay pa, may relocation pa. How much more yung lupa niya, halin sa kanununuan niya, halin kay lulong-lulo niya, pababa, siya na ngayon yung nakaposisyon, palalayasin natin. Saan sila pupunta? Hindi ba ka magrebelde yung ulo nila, Mr. Chair? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Chairman. Tama yun, Mr.
Honorable
Chairman.
Bautista.
Ito nga, so papasok ngayon ang Presidential Urban Poor Council, Mr. Chairman. Commission pala. So, napag-usapan ba nila ito ng PUPC? Kung saan dadalhin ito nga mga they have the property, they have the tax declaration, yun lang ang property, wala na. I-displace mo sila. So, discuss this with the PUPC. Kung saan dadalhin itong mga tao na ito, Mr. Chairman, the families. Kaya nga siguro hiningian sila ngayon ng justification sa kanilang recommendation for closure, even 2 months lang. Dahil wala, hindi klaro, Mr. Chairman I don't know, kaya nga minsan I am doubt na ano ba talaga itong plano nila sa Boracay and what's really their plans? Blanco tayo Mr. Chairman. Asala palabas sila ng mga statements na parang tinatakot yung mga tao. I think it's not good, Mr. Chairman. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, with all due respect, no, especially to Honorable Bautista, I will just state my observation according to the CHESA authority, because the DOT were in Boracay, probably if we can recall, last 1980s, no, and then it was then the Undersecretary of DOT Ramona T who were in charge, Attorney Bibandor, and then after that Director T. And the provincial governor at the time was Governor Cabagnot, and there were master plan that was formulated by the Department of Tourism, and there were some developments, especially Angol will be the pilot project of the DOT. But it so happened that 1991, the local government code of the Philippines was approved. And all this obligation or authority was devolved in the local government unit. So that's why Governor Cabagnot at that time insists that we are now in charge of Boracay. DOT will be out because all these authorities' powers were devolved in LGU, no? So in short, na-abandon kita DOT at that time because of this devolution. Not only the DOT, pati ang aton Department of Health gin-devolve sa aton. Halos tanan gin-devolve. So ang CHESA, or PTA, they're in charge of the infrastructure in every tourist destination. Sandang in charge of infrastructure, but the operation itself of the tourist destination is being run by the local government unit. Ang nagapadalagan gin-devolve sa LGU and that's why the late Governor Cabagnot was really insisting that it should be turned over to the LGU province and LGU Malay, and it was implemented, no? So waron ang kita ron sa LGU. The only thing is with the setup of the CHESA, their obligation now is to do with the infrastructure program in its tourism zone. So ang gin-initiate it CHESA by PTA pa kato ang andang sewerage nga gin-turn over man sa BWC, ang sewerage nga until now wa man kuan lang partial wa ma turnover pa sa BIWC wagid under CHESA gyapon. But if we will interpret, dapat kunta ang big ang mga lagko nga infrastructure ana CHESA, pero like for example the sewerage tungod under the local government code kita man ang in charge sa sewerage, pwede kitang tanan ng LGU gawin obrat sewerage, drainage I mean drainage to I'm sorry, ang drainage ana LGU. So kung tanawon naton tanan may mga shortcomings tanan. Provincial LGU ana man CHESA, and as what mentioned by Honorable Gallinero and Honorable Bautista nga may kakulangan man ang DNR, no? Abo ang nag-comprise tanan it problema ay ang tanan man. So mo ganito hambal niyo kitang barasulan lang nag-abot ang oras nga si Presidente Duterte mismo ron ang nag-intra. So we have to cooperate lang kung halimbawa sa kaya ang problema naton what coordination. So dapat mamakonton si Mayor o ano kung kay Mayor kung nag-coordinate ang national tungod on our part wa kita tungod legislative kita limited ang aton nga authority. So it's now on the part of the executive department nga kuno wa nag-coordinate kundi imaw ma-coordinate lang sa andaho para may aton update. Ay suma sanda ang sa babaw. So dapat mag-initiate lang ang LGU Malay nga mag-coordinate sa national agencies. Siguro kung aton basulon magbasol-basol kita tanan ay tanan kita may negligence tanan I for one hambal lang permi nga may aton nga negligence para sa 25+5 ang batas nga ginobra ni Gloria 2006 Proclamation 1064 ginpagawa 2006 it was upheld by the Supreme Court the following year 2007. So dapat from 2007 onward gisunod dun dapat ang tanan nga batas. So dapat from 2007 ang easement, ang wetland, forest land, tanan kung tatogin observe para at least ang LGU naging responsible nga magsunod sa hatong proclamation. Pero kung after that ag may mga violation gyapon mismo ang DNR may andaman siguro nga contribution tungod natandaan ko 2010 o 13 nag-organize ang LGU Malay review committee sa tanan nga construction, and one of the member is coming from DNR may andang representative So kung aton i-recall tanan may negligence. So ang kaya ang akon lang mambal kunta nga tanan kita cooperate lang what barsulan try to find solution kung ano ang mas manami istoryahon ng nasyonal nga kung pwede what closure or face by face as what Honorable Juliet, and that is also the suggestion of DTI nagpadala suggestion sa Malacanang ron nga face by face ang pagpasara so on our case kung tamay aton man stand especially on the executive department aton action plan aton time frame isubmit naman to sa Malacanang nga what closure Mr. President pwede hayaang aton i-offer aton commitment aton na time frame para maistudyuhan ni Presidente tanan. So by then ang aton hinyoon lang buligi lang kami sa infrastructure di naman sa infrastructure the wisdom behind the declaration of the state of calamity primarily para lang nga maka-release it pondo. So ang calamity nang nga ginatawag ang sisfall ang sa drainage sa tanan mo andang basihan. Pero kung ang pagdeklara is state of calamity makabulig ba lang sa aton na ma-release ang pondo tanan because we're not only counting on the drainage o dyan silusyutan nga bulig ang aton sewerage kulang. Chairman it BWC they're going to expand up to Yapak aton road karsada naton after the widening of the road sige da mabuhat budget wagid ang tanan nga halimbawa implement andang demolition ang debris, kinanglan millions of money ka na igastos. So, udyan na mabuol sa dahil. Pasiguro, ang aton nga worries sa mga ma-dislocate, dapat part pagyapon sa andang punduran nga baklan da it lugta o paubrahan dat balay. Relocation na eh. So, dapat, that's part of their funding that will be coming from the national. So, ang namin obrahon, kunta may aton nga concrete nga nakita to ng action plan mat LGU pero 6 months to eh. I-shorten naton. Pwede 2 months lang or maximum 3 months nga obrahon, hayamon obrahon tanan-tanan. Mabulig ang provincial, bulig man ang national. Mr. President, time frame naton 2 months hindi na pagsarhi. Pag hindi naman ma-implement ganun na maayos na, hindi, may rason ka mo nga may closure. Okay? Honorable Bautista?
Chairman, but klaro ba? Klaro. So, ano ang i-rehab? Let's say, forest land, meaning tamnan yung matkahoy, no? Dahil may structures eh. Imoron i-rehab. So, kung sa mga wetlands, meaning i-remove yung mga field materials, i-remove, ibalik sa bukid, I don't know. Dapat klaro ho lang, no? I-rehab ng daro wetland, kut-kuton at uman ron. Eh, dapat klaro, Mr. Chairman eh. Nga haman i-close it ang Boracay. Let's say, if we want to rehab manaro sa may Cagban area, nakapikto ba ito sa Bloom Beach? Wala man nakapikto na. Diba? If they want to rehab yung ano pang other wetlands. Kung sa Bulabog area, forest land, if they want to demolish all structures, di man nakapikto sa Long Beach. Sa mga existing commercial establishments. Kung ano na, they will remove those structures and then they will, may another deforestation. Magtanong mga kahoy, mo siguro ang gustong bago na rehabilitation with chairman. And itong BWC, parang they complied already yung diversion na kumpleto na ata yung pipes from Balaba going to sa existing bago nila na steeping ngayon, hindi pa natapos?
Wapa. According to them, during the stakeholders meeting, mga 3 months. 3 months.
But why they agreed on the instructions of Secretary Simaton that in March 31, there will be compliance for its revision, diversion?
I don't know. Pero pag during the stakeholders meeting, yun man kung tig-gob to eh, kung how long it will take for you to implement. So, 3 months. Pero kung closure, kung sarado ang kundalan tanan, nagmakaobra, within 1.5 siguro or 2, tapos na.
Pero ilawasan na sa kwan, ito tada, they pass the delayed pipes, no? From doon sa Bulabog area, Mr. Chairman eh. So, doon na ata sila banda sa may kwan eh, sa may Laguna. Malapit na lang. Dahil papunta lang naman yun eh, Bulabog area sa existing STP. Na i-divert nila some of those water waste sa manok-manok. Kaya madali lang naman yun eh, Mr. Chairman, if you talk about rehabilitations. And sa drainage naman, ongoing eh. Ngayon, na-identified na yung mga violations along the main roads where we have the drainage system. Na-identified na, and I think some of those are already closed or issued some violations, Mr. Chairman. So, ang nakita ko, ano bang rehabilitation na gagawin? Na may kailangan 6 months or 2 months. So, if there is an recommendation in phase by phase, sa Yapak area, wala namang halos na naman si Chairman eh. Violation sa Yapak area, except sa beachfront eh. Those structures are temporary. So, kadali lang naman na makuha dun sa beach area ng Yapak. So, sa kalsada, widening lang ang kulang doon. Mr. Chairman. So I would like to, yung sabi kanina, Mr. Chairman of the Presidential Proclamation 1064. Sa Presidential Proclamation 1064 is 30 meters, Mr. Chairman, yung kalsada, di ba? So, yung nagawa namin in year 2000, if we did not pass an ordinance, no, na ilagay yung 12 meters sa kalsada, so they will be implementing 1064 now. Abuti na lang, Mr. Chairman, naunahan ng mga sandagang bayan noon, year 2000, na 12 meters lang yung kalsada. Ay kung hindi pala, ginawa nila 30 meters. Based on Proclamation 1064 in 2006. And it was upheld by the Supreme Court, Mr. Chairman. Kaya magaling na mga SB noon, na speculate ka agad na in the future,
Lalabas yung 1064. Or else, ang daming nakuha ng bahay dyan sa along the main road, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Bautista, kano na-approve ang 12 meters?
2,000, yung 2,131.
Oh, kung dapat 2,000, i-implement kung ang...
Ang problema lang ay it was not properly implemented. Ay puro na lang compliance, undertakings, hanggang ngayon undertakings pa rin. And naman sa Bulabog, Mr. Chairman, alam mo, I have shortcomings here. The ordinance that identified the 25 plus 5 is 96 pa, Mr. Chairman. That was na ordinance number 96-97.
25 plus 5 man?
Yes.
So what happened sa Bulabog?
Ay, yung Bulabog, hindi nila lagyan ng marker. Ang lagyan ng marker sa main road, sa main bitsang, Long Beach. So, mayroon din kakulangan tayo doon, ng LGU, na hindi nilagyan ng marker noong 97 ang Bulabog area and other portions sa Manok-Manok. Only the Long Beach, yun ang nilagyan ng marker. At ibang marker pa, nawala na. Yun ang problema doon, Mr. Chairman. So, kaya you cannot blame DNR. Walang marker eh.
But on the ordinance, local ordinance, we have this 25 plus 5
yes,
easement
in
already.
96, 97 pa yun. No? Ordinance number 97 for the year to 1996 pa, Mr. Chairman.
So nauna pa itong batas kanina sa nasyonal, galing walang ma-implement.
And doon sa naman sa 1064, doon nagmarking ang DNR noong 2007. Kaya yun, tinahanap ng ng DNR, yung 2007 na marker na nilagay ng NAMRIA. Dahil hindi tayo nakalagay ng marker noong 1997. Yun ang problema doon sa Bulabog, Manok-Manok, Andiapak, except sa Long Beach, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Everything has been said, so now we will proceed. On what privileged speech, ma-lunch na kita, and we'll proceed with incoming and referral. Or
I think
incoming and referral, Anay.
I think we finished the incoming and referral,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Okay. So what that bisita? We don't have invited guests. Okay. So let's proceed now to the incoming and referral. Madam Secretary.
Okay, for our incoming and referrals, Mr. Chairman, first is an ordinance requiring all vendors of meat Okay, to continue, Mr. Chairman, an ordinance requiring all vendors of meat, poultry, and seafoods to display the prices at public markets in the municipality of Malay. This is introduced by Honorable Graf.
Refer to Committee on Laws.
Next is application for accreditation of Motor Ace Philippines Incorporated as e-trike supplier in the municipality of Malay.
Can we include the Committee on Trade and Industry? Trade and Industry, Mr. Chairman, on this ordinance?
For the first incoming?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Because you referred it only to Committee on Laws, it possibility to include the Committee on Trade and Industry?
Or I think agriculture.
And Agriculture, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
So that's my committee.
So if that's your
These two committees under.
suggestion, then we will refer that to the three committees as mentioned already. Okay. Proceed to number 2.
Okay, next, Mr. Chairman, is application for accreditation of Motor Ace Philippines Incorporated as e-trike supplier in the municipality of Malay.
Okay. Refer to Committee on Tourism, Industry, Trade, Economic Enterprise, and Cooperative. Proceed.
Transport, Mr. Chair. Transportation.
Accreditation, yeah. Accreditation. Okay, proceed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is a letter from Boracay Regency Beach Resort. This is addressed to the Municipal Vice Mayor, the Honorable Vice Mayor. We would like to submit our application again for building permit to your good office for evaluation of our proposed resort hotel project located at Balabag, Boracay Island, which will be named Henan Park Resort. The said resort hotel was given locational clearance 159-2017 and SB endorsement number 2017-30 of the Sangguniang Bayan of Malay for its 4th-story application, which was later revoked by your office on March 6, 2018. However, we are amending the said application to 5-story. Attached are the following documents: 1 set of plans, perspective, site development plan and vicinity map, sections and elevations, electrical plans, plumbing plans, mechanical plans, sketch plan, survey map, and the tax declaration, OR number for the payment of zoning permit. We hope that the above documents would suffice in the endorsement of your office to proceed in the procurement of SB endorsement you once revoked and ask your good office not to revoke the said endorsement number 2017-30. Thank you very much in anticipation of your immediate positive action on this matter. Signed by Mr. Errol F. Ledesma, the Assistant to the Vice President.
Okay, the is 5-story is allowed in the area, the that area.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, what we endorsed is only a 4 stories, and it was the one who the plan submitted, and there was no building permits yet endorsed. No, I mean issued, Mr. Chairman, and based on the inspections of the zoning office, there was a violation since they extended from 4 to 5. I think up to 6 stories pa nga Mr. Chairman. And the requirement for that 5 stories is, and 6 stories is at least not less than 2 hectares. With 2 hectares and above, so mayroong violation sila sa open space. And at the same time, sa setback ng 12 meters, kasi if you have a 5 stories, you need a 12 meter setback from the center of the road. So there are 2 violations, Mr. Chairman. So maybe that's the reason why the endorsement and the locational clearance was revoked, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so on that note, we will refer this to your committee to further study. Okay, so you, if there's any option, then you will discuss it with the proponent, no? Okay, proceed.
Last on incoming is application for accreditation of I Am Philippine Livelihood and Management Associations.
Okay, refer to Committee on Laws.
Accreditation, Mr. Chair.
Cooperative.
Cooperative. Sorry. Refer to the Committee on Tourism, Industry, Trade, Economic Enterprise, and Cooperative. Okay?
Mr. Chairman,
Okay. So, we will
Mr.
proceed.
Chairman?
Honorable Gallinero.
Resist.
Suspend, ma'am.
I move to suspend our session for 2 minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
For
so there's
1 hour.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Gallinero to suspend our session for 1 hour for lunch.
Confirmation from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community. Still, broadcast
That's why we invited you before the interruption, and that's why we would like to inquire.
To besmirch my or to destroy my reputation, dignity, and my personal faith, even in person of family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming
Of Municipal Ordinance Number 342, Series of 2015, otherwise known as the Municipal Traffic Code of Malay, introduced by Honorable Gallinero, Honorable Maming, and Honorable Graf. Next is an ordinance creating the position of environmental enforcers in the Municipality of Malay, introduced by Honorable Bautista. And an ordinance creating the Council for Women of the Municipality of Malay, introduced by Honorable Graf. An ordinance further amending Municipal Ordinance Number 307, Series of 2012, an ordinance amending Municipal Ordinance Number 297, Series of 2011, an ordinance amending Municipal Ordinance Number 188, Series of 2003, setting guidelines in connecting to sewerage pipeline construction and maintenance of sewerage treatment plant and standard septic tanks and the comprehensive wastewater management in Boracay Island. Next is a request of the municipal mayor for an authority to negotiate with the surviving heirs of Mr. Liberato Ong for the purchase of lot located at Poblacion Malay, Aklan for construction of information center at Pangihan Cave. And request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the provincial government of Aklan on the release of financial assistance in line with the participation to the Aklan Festival Showcase. And last is a request of the municipal mayor for the passage of a resolution questioning the memorandum of agreement entered into by the PPA and the provincial government of Aklan.
Okay, the committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Once again, good afternoon to my fellow honorables. Mr. Chair, my first committee report with regards to Committee on Laws and Ordinances. This is with regards to the request from Katiklan Boracay Motorboat Service Cooperative through its chairman, Mr. Barrientos, to utilize Barangay Sambiray for their cargo operations. Actually, Mr. Chair, last week, we conducted a committee hearing with regards to this problem of the Katiklan Boracay Motorboat Service Cooperative. This is in line with the request that they can put up their boat station or cargo boat operation in Barangay Sambiray, particular on Sambiray Port. So we conducted a committee hearing and we agreed that before allowing them, because according to the our port administrator in the person of Mr. Absidis de la Torre, that there's no area for them to be accommodated as their cargo port, no? So for the meantime, we agreed that we have to conduct an ocular inspection together with the port administrator and the CBSMC and yours truly, no? So this committee report, Mr. Chair, is deferred for further investigation which part of the Sambiray port they can have their operations, Mr. Chair. So this committee report is deferred, Mr. Chair. Next, Mr. Chair, this is an ordinance creating the Municipal Environment and Natural Resources Office, or MINRO, of the local government of Malay Aklan. Ever since, Mr. Chair, we don't have any office for the MINRO. So this time, we created this office so that they can have a focus on their, particularly on our problem with regards to air, land, and sea, no? Which the focus of this is to monitor and of course to make sure that our environment must be in a proper perspective, Mr. Chair. So we have discussed together with the Office of the Mayor with regards to the creating of the MINRO, also with the presence of the Human Resource Management in the person of Ma'am Dinky Magma, Mr. Chair. So on that matter, Mr. Chair, I move that this ordinance creating the Municipal Environment and Natural Resources Office, or MINRO, be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of this committee report regarding an ordinance creating the Municipal Environment and Natural Resources Office, MINRO, of the local government of Malay Aklan. Seconded by Honorable Pagsugiron. So the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading.
Committee report, Mr. Chair. This is an ordinance amending Section 2 and 12F of Article 13 and schedule of fines, penalties under Article 27 of Municipal Ordinance Number 342, Series of 2015, otherwise known as the Municipal Traffic Code of Malay. This is with regards to the penalties, Mr. Chair, no? That we increase their penalties, no, in case instead of they can have their first offense or second offense, we further go to the third and final offense, since that those offenses committed, Mr. Chair, kumbaga ay kayang-kaya na nabayaran dahil may first offense and second offense, no? So on that regards, Mr. Chair, I move that this ordinance amending Section 2 and 12 of Article 13 and a schedule of fines and penalties under Article 27 of Municipal Ordinance Number 342, Series of 2015, be adopted and calendared on the second and final reading.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of his committee report regarding an ordinance amending Section 2 and 12 F of Article 9 and schedule of fines and penalties under Article XXV11 of 27 of Municipal Ordinance 342, Series of 2015, otherwise known as Municipal Traffic Code of Malay. Seconded by Honorable Pagsugiron. So the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Another ordinance, Mr. Chair, an ordinance creating the position of environmental enforcers in the municipality of Malay. This is introduced by Honorable Bautista. On that matter, Mr. Chair, this ordinance pertains to our environmental officers, that those will be hired as our environmental officers enforcers will be focused on implementing environmental laws in our municipality. The position and their salaries will be determined by the Human Resource Office, Mr. Chair, in the person of Ms. Dinky Magma, so that they can perform their duties, no? And of course, the qualification of being environmental enforcers, Mr. Chair. So on that matter, Mr. Chair, I move that this ordinance creating the position of environmental enforcers in the municipality of Malay Aklan be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
So again, the committee chairman move for the adoption of his committee report regarding an ordinance creating the position of environmental enforcers in the municipality of Malay Aklan.
Mr. Chair,
seconded by
before I second, no,
Okay.
I have
Honorable
some
Pasugiro.
clarifications. Is these environmental enforcers will be under the Office of Menro? Okay.
Honorable
They will be under the Office of the
Menro.
Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, I second the motion, Mr.
Okay, seconded by Honorable Pagsugiron. So the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Another municipal ordinance creating the Council for Women of the Municipality of Malay Aklan. This is introduced by Honorable Graf, Mr. Chair. This is with regards to the creation of this council under the GAD, no? Gender and Development Office. So it was discussed, Mr. Chair, that this ordinance or this creation of this Council for Women is very clear that absolutely it is for women's welfare, Mr. Chair, on this municipality. That all concerned about women will be addressed through this council, Mr. Chair. So in that regards, Mr. Chair, I move that this ordinance creating the Council for Women of the Municipality of Malay be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
Okay.
Second.
Another motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of his committee report regarding an ordinance creating the Council for Women of the Municipality of Malay, seconded by Honorable Graf. So the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed.
The next report, Mr. Chair, this is with regards to the ordinance further amending Municipal Ordinance number 307, series of 2012, an ordinance amending Municipal Ordinance 297, series of 2011, an ordinance amending Municipal Ordinance number 188, series of 2003, setting guidelines in connecting to sewerage pipeline construction and maintenance of sewerage treatment plant and standard septic tanks and the comprehensive wastewater management in Boracay Island. Actually, Mr. Chair, we conducted a committee hearing with regards to this last week, but it was agreed that since this is a very, it's very costly, and I think it needs to be heard to the public, Mr. Chair. So we agreed that this ordinance, amending Municipal Ordinance number 307, series of 2012, be deferred and to be the committee would like to conduct a public hearing with regards to this matter, Mr. Chair. So this Municipal Ordinance, amending Municipal Ordinance number 307, series of 2012, is deferred for public hearing, Mr. Chair.
Okay, as stated, Honorable Bautista.
Can we specify the certain provision, Mr. Chairman, on this ordinance? Since you are amending ordinance number 37, can you cite only some sections of this ordinance to be amended?
Okay.
Not the entire ordinance is to be amended.
No, not the entire ordinance will be amended. It's only those who are going to connect, no, who are the one who will be connected to sewer line, and who will be the one entitled to septic tanks, not to water treatment plant, and those who are need to have a water treatment plant, Mr.
So
Chair.
just to specify the
Yes,
certain
Mr.
provision of that amendment, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you,
Certain
Honorable
sections.
Bautista.
Okay, as stated, so the said proposed amendments is hereby deferred. Proceed to the next committee
Mr.
report.
Chair, this is again with the request of our municipal mayor for an authority to negotiate with surviving heirs of Mr. Liberato Ong for the purchase of lot located at Poblacion Malay Aklan for construction of information center at Pangihan Cave. This is with regards to the request of our municipal mayor to put up a tourism office, no? It's like a ticketing office, no? Or just information office, no? In Pangihan Cave. Since that Pangihan Cave, Mr. Chair, is being visited by most of the tourists at all times here in the municipality of Malay, no? So it needs to have our information office so that we can have, or we can advise our tourists what to do and what are they are going to do inside the Pangihan Cave, Mr. Chair, in order not to be put their lives on danger, Mr. Chair. Actually, manami matabo ko matambal nga kung ano, pero kinahanglan dapat may mga gears, and they have to need to be educate what they are going to do inside the Pangihan Cave, Mr. Chair. So on that matter, Mr. Chair, our municipal mayor is asking for an authority to negotiate with the surviving heirs of Mr. Liberato Ong, no? Nga makabuol kita lugta para nga butangan aton nga information center, because we cannot put our information center, Mr. Chair, as long as we not own the land, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, just
Okay,
query,
Honorable,
Mr. Chair. Are we going to collect some fees for those tourists who are going to the
Yes,
place?
as a public to sustain, no, the tourism industry on the Pangihan Cave, the municipality of Malay is collecting pila gani atong ginasakot 50 pesos per head. It's something like an entrance fee on a Pangihan Cave.
Okay,
So on that matter,
thank you.
Mr. Chair, I move that thus the request of the municipal mayor for an authority to negotiate with the surviving heirs of Mr. Liberato Ong for the purchase of lot located at Poblacion Malay, Aklan for construction of information center at Pangihan Cave be adopted and calendared on the second reading.
Okay. So another motion from the committee chairman for the adoption of his report regarding the request of the municipal mayor for an authority to negotiate with the surviving heirs of Liberato Ong for the purchase of lot located at Poblacion Malay, Aklan for construction of information center at Pangihan Cave. Seconded by Honorable Pagsugiron, so the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed.
Another report, Mr. Chair. This is the request of our municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the provincial government of Aklan on the release of financial assistance in the line with the participation of the Aklan Festival Showcase. The provincial government, Mr. Chair, would like to have an occasion. This is called the Aklan Festival Showcase, which this MOA will be addressed to the provincial government and the local government for an aid from the Aklan provincial government amounting to 50,000 pesos, Mr. Chair. So on that matter, Mr. Chair, I move that the request of municipal mayor for an authority to enter into memorandum of agreement with the provincial government of Aklan on the release of financial assistance in line with the participation of the Aklan Festival Showcase be adopted and calendared on the second and final reading.
Okay, another motion from the committee chairman regarding the request of the municipal mayor for an authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the provincial government of Aklan on the release of financial assistance in line with the participation to the Aklan Festival Showcase. Seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said committee report is hereby adopted and be calendared for second reading. Proceed.
Another report, Mr. Chair, from this committee. This is a resolution questioning the Philippine Ports Authority or PPA in disregarding the existence of the local government unit of Malay, Aklan in entering into a memorandum of agreement or MOA with the provincial government of Aklan for the administration, management, operation, maintenance, and development of the port of Katiklan pertaining to a property within the territorial jurisdiction of Malay, Aklan. This is with regards to the claim of the municipal government, Mr. Chair of Malay, to the provincial government, why they have entered into a memorandum of agreement with the Philippine Ports Authority with regards to the administration, management, operation, maintenance, and development of the port of Katiklan, since that Katiklan is within the territorial jurisdiction of Malay, Aklan. So it was stated here, Mr. Chair, in our resolution, those questions that must be answered by the provincial government from the local government unit of Malay. So on that matter, Mr. Chair, I move that this resolution questioning the Philippine Ports Authority or PPA in disregarding the existence of the local government unit of Malay Aklan in entering into a memorandum of agreement or MOA with the provincial government of Aklan for the administration, management, operation, maintenance, and development of the port of Katiklan pertaining to a property within the territorial jurisdiction of Malay Aklan be adopted and calendared on the second.
Before the
and final
motion of
reading.
Honorable Gallinero, since we were invited during the signing of MOA, I was there. I was present during the signing. Honorable Aaron, you were there also, no?
But
is that referred to the jetty port now in Katiklan?
PPA.
Yeah, PPA.
The portion.
Yes,
As a
yeah,
PPA.
correct. Because portion of that is owned by PPA, and there was a memorandum of understanding or agreement between the
Province
provincial
and the
government
PPA.
and it will be it will end up to 3 years, I think, no. So my point is, we were there during the signing, so I would like to put into the record that or we will differ first. We will discuss that matter.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, but there was no formal letter or just informing this municipality maybe of their renewal of that agreement, no, Mr. Chairman?
We were invited. There was an official invitation to us.
Also, you have attended.
Yeah, we have attended. So now we were questioning that signing, and we were there. We're supposed to question that before the signing, but I was there. Honorable Aaron was there also.
But, Mr. Chairman, is there any letter or communication addressed to any of the LGU regarding this renewal?
Send na siguro.
The mayor and that's not man.
To huh? When was that?
I was also informed by the office of PPA nga may andang offer ka to sa Udya.
So on that matter, Mr. Chair, I move to defer first this request of our mayor for further clarification with regards to the presence of our vice mayor and the Liga president during the signing of the MOA, so that we will be clarified, no, if what really matters, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So
Thank
this
you,
report
Honorable Gallinero.
has been deferred, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So let's proceed to
For our next committee report, Mr. Chairman, is Committee on Land Use on request for SB endorsement for issuance of zoning clearance and building permit of the following. First is Mr. Alfredo S. Capaño Jr. on the proposed renovation of two-story, 2 rooms residential and commercial building, store and ground floor located at Barangay Yapak, Malay Aklan.
okay, the committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. The proposed two-story anyway, this Chairman is this structure is already finished now, and the problem is there was encroachment on the 6-meter setback from the center of the road. So I require the applicants to demolish first the 1-meter encroachment, Mr. Chairman, on the 6-meter setback before the endorsement will be made, Mr. Chairman. So I defer the endorsement of this application of Mr. Alfredo Capaño Jr. until such time that there will be another inspection, that there will be a compliance on the setback from the center of the road, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, as stated by the committee chairman, so the application of Mr. Alfredo Capaño Jr. was deferred for further compliance. Okay, move.
Next,
Let's move
Mr.
to
Chairman, is Mr. Miller Bersaba on the proposed 4-story, 13 rooms residential and commercial building, pension house located at Barangay Yapak.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. We inspected the area. It's already ongoing construction of Ms. Miller Bersaba, and I required for its to submit the structural analysis, since it is a 4-story, 13 rooms, but when we inspected, they put the, I think 10 mm, I think that was 10 mm steel bars were used for its columns. So that's why I am requiring to submit a structural analysis, Mr. Chairman, before we endorse the proposed project, Mr. Chairman. Anyway, that's not proposed, but it's already ongoing in construction. And why is it that they use the 10 mm steel bars in column for a 4-story building, Mr. Chairman? Just they're very dangerous.
Okay.
So deferred, Mr. Chairman, is in the endorsement until such time that they will submit the structural analysis by the civil engineers, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, as stated by the committee chairman, so the application of Mr. Miller Bersaba is deferred. Proceed to the next one.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Ms. Marilyn and Jenny Rose Harisco on the proposed 3-story, 2-studio-type rooms, residential and commercial building with roof deck at Barangay Balabag.
Okay, Chairman,
Thank
Committee
you,
Members.
the Chair. We inspected the area for the application of Marilyn and Jenny Rose Risco, Chairman, Barangay Balabag, for the proposed 3-story and 2-studio type rooms, residential commercial building with roof deck. Actually, it has complied also with our zoning classification, and also this open space. There's an ongoing demolition, Mr. Presiding, but we required him to submit the revised plan and to indicate the parking space, Mr. Chairman. So I defer the endorsement of this of their application until such time that they will submit the revised plan that will indicate the parking space, Mr. Chairman.
So the application on the proposed 3-story, 2-studio type rooms, residential commercial building with roof deck, 1 commercial stall on ground floor located at Barangay Balabag, Malay, Aklan by Ms. Marilyn and Jenny Rose Harisco is deferred upon submission of necessary documents.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Alejandro Sacapaño on the proposed 3-story, 2 rooms, residential and commercial building at Barangay Balabag.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
We inspected the area, Mr. Chairman, of Alejandro Sacapaño on the proposed 3-story, 2 rooms and commercial building. It was an ongoing construction, Mr. Chairman, and all the requirements have been complied with. So I move the endorsement of for Alejandro Sacapaño application, Mr. Chairman, subject for penalties, Mr. Chairman.
So is there any second motion? So it has been moved and seconded that the proposed 3-story, 2 rooms residential commercial building store on the ground floor located at Barangay Balabag, Malay, Aklan of Mr. Alejandro Sacapaño is now endorsed with the penalty.
Next is Mr. Ruben F. Soriano on the proposed 3-story, 11 rooms, residential and commercial building with roof deck at Barangay Balabag, and another 4-story, 12 rooms hotel with roof deck at Barangay Balabag also.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Since Mr. Ruben Soriano has 2 applications. One is the proposed 4-story, 12 rooms hotel with roof deck at Barangay Balabag. The project was started. They required also some all the requirements except for since the location is on the part of the mountain on in Balabag area, Mr. Chairman, and the slope area. So we required them to submit the certification on land classification from the DNR, Mr. Chairman. So I defer the application of this 4 stories, 12 rooms until such time that the certification on land classification from DNR will be submitted, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so the application of Mr. Ruben Soriano on the proposed 3-story, 11 rooms residential commercial building with roof deck, office and ground floor located at Barangay Balabag, Malay, Aklan is deferred subject for the submission of land classification from Department of Environment and Natural Resources.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is also with Mr. Ruben Soriano, the proposed 3-story, 11 rooms residential commercial building located at Sitio Balabag in the beachfront area at Barangay Balabag. The project is not yet started. also complied with the zoning classification and in compliance also with the 25 plus 5 setback from the Hymen watermark, Mr. Chairman. So I move that the application of Ruben Soriano for this proposed 3-story, 11-room sustainable building, commercial building shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
So it has been moved and seconded by Honorable Dante Pagsugiron that the application on the proposed 4-story 12-rooms hotel with roof deck located at Barangay Balabag, Malay, Aklan of Mr. Ruben Soriano upon completion of the necessary requirements required by the Committee on Land Use is now endorsed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Throw Home Hotel Incorporated. On the proposed 3-story, 6 rooms, staff house with roof deck located at Barangay Balabag.
Actually, Mr. Chairman, just a moment. With the application of Mr. Soriano, we still require them since we know that there's I think the additional 7 meters setback from the 25 plus 5, remaining 25 plus 5 plus 7. Since 12 meters will be there will be a new road in Bulabog area leading to Mount Luho. So from 25 plus 5, so there will be another 7 meters setback. So it's almost 37 meters required there in order to provide for 7 meters more from that 5 was 12 for the purpose of the opening of new roads in the Balabog area, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
So it's about
Mr.
37 meters.
Honorable Gallinero.
I think what my understanding is that the 25 plus 5 in Bulabog, I don't know if that is, I talked to one of the DNR that the road must be in 25 plus 5, within the 25 plus 5.
5. But they have the proposed road is 12 meters, so you have to add more 7, so that's 12 meters. So at the 25, that's the buffer zone.
So after
and then
buffer zone,
the
another
5
street.
meters is for the pathway, di ba? So that's the road. Then, but since that is parang highway na rin yan, so it would be 12 meters. So 5 plus 7, 12 plus then 25 meters from the setback from the highway watermark. So there will be a 37 meters setback.
37 yan.
Okay.
Ang malapit din 25 plus 5 within.
Yeah, plus
25 plus 5 into ang karsada.
But the karsada is 12 meters. So they have to add more 7 meters in order to have this 12
to
meters.
have this 25, that's
12 meters.
12 meters.
Yeah.
Ayoko man blasan natin.
Okay, or else may problema sa may kasada na ang they know already, Mr. Chairman, that you have to provide 7 meters from the 25 plus 5.
Okay, so Honorable Bautista just required them to abide by the setback.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, proceed.
It should be put on the conditions, Madam Secretary. Yes, 7 meters from another setback for 7 meters from the 25 plus 5 for a provision for the road, Mr. Chairman, Bulabog area.
Okay, proceed to the second, to the next proponent.
Sir Chair, before we
Honorable
proceed, if possible, we have to monitor that very well, because as we all know, the construction of Mr. Soriano at the White Beach have also a lot of problems with regards to compliance to the undertaking, especially on when he applied for 2-story and he built another store upstairs, and it's not yet finished. No, it took a long time before he started to demolish the 3rd floor. So parang slowly. He said he had to do it slowly because he will use the roof. But at the same time, it is also not okay to be seen, for the structure to still be seen up until now.
That happens, Mr. Chairman, since there was no endorsement from the Sangguniang Bayan. If there's construction, it passes through this body, maybe that happened, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Next. No, we will not allow now undertaking. No more undertaking.
Need to comply.
Okay, proceed.
Need to comply first before we endorse. Undertakings the more.
Okay, proceed, Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The area of the location of Trohom Hotel Incorporated, the proposed 3-story, 6 rooms staff house with roof deck, Mr. Chairman, was inspected, and the 2-meter setback from the fence is considered. The project that is started. So, with that, Mr. Chairman, since they are very far from the sewerage pipes, but there will be a laying. There will be they promise to have the long pipes, maybe insulation, in order to reach the sewerage pipe, Mr. Chairman. And since the sewerage pipes is at the back of the church in Balabag, Balabag proper, and the building maybe is about, I think, almost more than 100 or 200 meters, Mr. Chairman. But the owner is promised to really connect with the sewerage pipes, Mr. Chairman, in order to comply with the requirements on the wastewater management, Mr. Chairman. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of True Home Hotel Incorporated to the proposed 3-story, 6-room staff house with roof deck shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent True Home Hotel Incorporated, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Next project, Mr. Chairman, is Olay Baguio Larsen on the proposed 2-story, 18 rooms residential and commercial building located at Barangay Balabag.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The area for the proposed 2-story, 18 rooms residential commercial building of Olay Baguio Larsen, Mr. Chairman, was inspected at Barangay Balabag, and we require them for the setback of 2 meters from the edge of the right of way. No, and the open space is complied with. It's also the zoning complied also the zoning classification, Mr. Chairman. There's an existing parang mga small cottages, and it will be demolished, Mr. Chairman, in order to have this new project. With that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of Oli Baguio Larsen.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Gallinero.
When we say sleeping quarters, what it means? Sleeping quarters.
As I said, that may mga students, they have some students, no? And
Ang mga OGT.
mga rang OGT kasi may yung bodybuilding ata yan. And the rooms will be used for the students, mga trainings.
Okay. So since there was already a motion,
Mr. Chairman, so I move that the application of this Oli Baguio Larsen shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
okay. Second, there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the applicant Oli Baguio Larsen, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is approved. Proceed. Proceed, Mr. Chairman.
Next,
Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, is Miss Irene Lara on the proposed additional of second floor 3 rooms residential building with roof deck located at Barangay Balabag.
Thank you, Mr.
Proceed,
Chair.
committee chairman.
So we inspected the area for the application of Irene Lara, the proposed additional at second floor 3 rooms residential building, Mr. Chairman. And during the inspection, there was already a firewall since they started the construction, no, of that project, that building, and I required, since they have a firewall, I required them to remove that firewall, the property line, since the area is more than 200 square meters, Mr. Chairman. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I defer the endorsement of this application of Irene Lara until such time that the firewall at the property line shall be removed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, as stated by the committee chairman, the application of Miss Irene Lara was deferred.
Next is Osaidon Corporation on the proposed 4-story 55 rooms hotel with roof deck at Barangay Balabag.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We inspected also the application on the area of Osaidon Corporation, the proposed 4-story 55 rooms hotel with roof deck at Barangay Balabag, Mr. Chairman. The project has started. It complied on this our zoning classification and all requirements for our building ordinance been complied with. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of Poseidon Corporation for the proposed 4-story 55 rooms hotel and roof deck shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the applicant Poseidon Corporation. Seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is approved. Proceed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Joey R. Peña on the proposed 6-story 204 rooms Paradise Garden Resort Hotel with roof deck located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Thank
Proceed.
you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we inspected also, Mr. Chairman, the area for this for the application of Joey Peña for the proposed 6-story 204 rooms Paradise Garden Resort Hotel with roof deck at the Barangay Manok-Manok. And the project has not yet started, Mr. Chairman. It's also complied with our zoning classification, the open space, and based on the presentation during last session, Mr. Chairman, include the plans on the construction of a sewerage treatment plant, Mr. Chairman, for their operation, wastewater management, Mr. Chairman. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of Joey Peña proposed 6-story 24 rooms resort hotel and with roof deck Barangay Manok-Manok shall be endorsed.
Okay,
Mr.
a
Chair,
motion from the committee.
I'd like to inquire, because the proposed project is within the property of Paradise Garden, and I think Paradise Garden has a violation on setback requirements from the center of the road. So I think prior to the endorsement, this violation must be corrected first.
I saw the violation on the fence, Mr. Chairman.
I think that one. No?
Yes,
Basta sa
and,
gate,
and
no?
I saw that they are
Entrance.
demolishing now the fence which encroaches on the 6 meters. Kita ko na ginaguba na itong pader. Okay.
Okay.
So, thank you, SB Sigeron, with that observation. But there was already compliance. I saw that they are now removing the encroachment, the structures that encroach on the 6 meters setback. So with that, Mr. Chairman, again, I move that the application of Joey Peña for the proposed 6-story 24 rooms hotel with roof deck shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent, Mr. Joey Peña, seconded by
Mr.
Honorable Papagsugiron. So the said motion is approved. Proceed.
Okay, next is Ms. Ruhani Charmaine Melos. As built of 3-story, 5 rooms, residential and commercial building with roof deck at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So we inspected also the area for the application of Rujani Charmaine S. Meloa as for his as-built 3-story 5 rooms commercial building with roof deck at Barangay Manok-Manok, and this is a as-built application, Mr. Chairman, for its building permit. So they will be subject for penalty and complied also the zoning classification and also the setback from the main road. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of Rujani Charmin Meloa for the Melos, yes, Melos for the 3-story 5 rooms commercial building with roof deck shall be endorsed and subject for penalty since they started the building without the building permits, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of Ms. Rojani Charmaine Melos, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is approved with subject for paying of penalties and other requirements. Proceed.
Next project is the project of our ex-Vice Mayor Wilbic M. Hilito on the proposed additional of 3rd floor 5 rooms commercial building hardware on ground floor with storeroom and 11 rooms boarding house on 2nd floor located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we inspected, Mr. Chairman, the area for this proposed additional third floor, 5 rooms commercial building of Mr. Wilby Calito at Barangay Manok-Manok. Since the first floor has already the building permit, Mr. Chairman, but actually there was already a violation on the first floor, so there was no setback from the the building line. So with that, Mr. Chairman, we still require him to have the setback from the second floor, no, for the 1 meter, in compliance with our ordinance. But the first floor there was no setback. But I required them to have setback, but in spite of that, they were given the building permit, no. So I don't know, but I required them to sit back from the second floor. And the purpose really, Mr. Chairman, the sit back is to the continuous flow of wind, no, here. So the firewall at the setback of the building, and then they have also compliance with the setback from the main road and the access road, Mr. Chairman. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of Wilby Calito, the proposed additional third floor, 5 rows commercial building shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so another motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent, Mr. Wilby Calito.
Seconded.
Seconded by Honorable Pasugueron. So the said motion is approved.
With the condition that setback from the second floor will be complied.
Okay, subject for
setback.
The setback of second floor as stated. Proceed.
Next is Short Time Hotel Corporation and the proposed 4-story 33 rooms dormitel located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the area of the application of Short Time Hotel Corporation, the proposed 4-story 33 rooms dormitel at Barangay Manok-Manok was expected. The project was not yet started. Required to set back from the property line and required also to a 1 meter setback. Yes. With that, Mr. Chairman, it complies also with our zoning classification and the open space. With that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the Short Time Hotel Corporation application for the proposed 4-story 33 rooms dormitory shall be endorsed.
Okay, so motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent Short Time Hotel Corporation. Seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is approved. Proceed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Ms. Pamela Gregorio on the proposed 2-story 8 rooms residential and commercial building located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The application of Pamela Gregorio proposed 2-story 8 rooms residential commercial building. We inspected the area, Mr. Chairman, at Barangay Manok-Manok. The building is not yet constructed, and it's also complied with the zoning classification. So they are in compliance with our existing zoning orders, Mr. Chairman. I move that the application of the Pamela Gregorio shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent, Ms. Pamela Gregorio. Seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is approved.
Next project is Honorable Dalidigway Sumdad Jr. on the proposed renovation of 4-story commercial building at Barangay Balabag.
Proceed, Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So the application of Mr. Dalidig, the SB member of Dalidig Sumdad Jap, no? For this proposed renovation of 4-story commercial building was inspected, Mr. Chairman, at Barangay Balabag, and it's an existing building. So they demolished in compliance of the 6 meter setback from the main road. So with that, Mr. Chairman, this is in compliance already with our ordinance, Mr. Chairman. So I move that the application of Dalidig Sumdad for the renovation of 4-story commercial building shall be endorsed.
Okay,
Mr.
motion
Chair,
from Honorable Pasugueron.
since the proponent is very familiar to me, so I second the motion.
Okay.
Thank you, SB.
There's a motion from the committee
Pasugueron.
chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent, Mr. Dalidig Sumdad Jr., seconded by Honorable Pagsugiron. So the said motion is approved. Proceed.
Next is Ms. Jen Henry Luwelier on the proposed 4-story 28 rooms mini hotel with roof deck at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, Committee
Thank you,
Chairman.
Mr. Chair. So we inspected also the area of the applicants, so Jane and Henry Lullier, no, for the proposed 4-story, 28 rooms mini hotel with roof deck. Since this is the structures will be subject for demolition at Barangay Manok-Manok, and comply the zoning classification, the open space, of course the setback, no, from the main road and to the sidewalks again, no, so will be comply. So, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of Jen Henry Lullier, proposed 4-story, 28 rooms, mini hotel with roof deck, shall be endorsed.
Okay, so a
Mr.
motion
Chair.
from the Committee, Honorable
This
Pasudira.
is concern, Mr. Chair. No, if you look at the building of Llewellyn, once this demolished, so where the bring the debris, Mr. Chair? Because I've noticed that all debris, no, coming from the building is being used to the wetlands, no. So kailangan siguro may requirements tayo dyan, Mr. Chair, dahil usually the all debris ay ginapilak lang sa kwan to sa mga lower areas, so especially sa wetland
But
like
this-
what happens in Agban area, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
But this
Honorable
time, the
Bautista.
chair, since I think the NR now is very strict on the putting up some filling materials on the wetland, so they said that there will be an contractors for the demolition. At the same time, they will be the one to bring out maybe the debris in the mainland to the mainland, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Honorable Graf.
Mr. Chair, very good observation no, ni SB Dante. I think we have to maybe think about in demolishing structures like that. They also have to present a plan on how to remove that debris or whatever from the island, or if it is in the island, they have to make sure there is a certain area they are renting or whatever, and to put that we cannot be solving their problem. They have to help us solve their problem. By I
Okay.
don't know if we have to amend the ordinance or add to the ordinance, something like that. What do we suggest?
Okay, we will look into that.
They will be applying for demolition, Mr. Chairman. Maybe the building official will require them to submit for how to handle the debris that will be demolished from the structure, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Again, with okay, so let's proceed to the next proponent.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Ms. Annalisa Sarabia and Mr. Ramil Fernando on the proposed 3-story commercial building located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, Committee Chairman.
We inspected also, Mr. Chairman, the proposed 3-story, since it is existing and subject for demolition, the application of Annalisa Sarabia and Ramil Fernando for that proposed 3-story commercial building, and they will be complying on the setback from the center of the road, and with the still open space, maybe 8.5 meters, Mr. Chairman, in order to have their parking area and Barangay Manok-Manok. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of Annalisa Sarabia and Ramil Fernando, or maybe Ramil Fernando and Annalisa Sarabia, the proposed 3-story commercial building shall be endorsed.
Okay, so there's a motion from the Committee Chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent, Ms. Annalisa Sarabia and Mr. Ramel Fernando, duly seconded by Honorable Gallinero. So the said motion is approved. Proceed.
Next, Mr. Chairman, is Renergy System Incorporated on the proposed 2-story, 3 rooms residential and commercial building. This is the overhead charging area located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, Committee
Thank you,
Chairman.
Mr. Chair. So during the inspection of the area, of the applicants, Renergy System Incorporated, was no authorized representative during the inspection, Mr. Chairman. So I defer the endorsement until the authorized representative will be present during the inspection. And I have some comments, Mr. Chairman, since the project is about the commercial building is be used for charging station, and the area is very small, and it's dyan sa sa Kagban, which is going up road, and I'm requiring them to before the 8.5 meters. Sa tingin ko, Mr. Chairman, I think it's not viable na area for charging station. Dahil I'm sure that it will disturb again the traffic in that area during its operation. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I think we have to talk first to these applicants in order how to what will be their plans to reconsider, no, to find other places, Mr. Chairman, other areas in order to not to disturb the traffic on that Cagban area, Mr. Chairman. So I defer with that, Mr. Chairman. I defer the endorsement until the authorized representative will be present during the next inspection, and to informing them that to discourage them, no, to find other place for that business, Mr. Chairman. At the same time, since the synergy system was introduced to us, which is, I think that this was the one who funded by JICA, di ba? And why is it that this company now running it's into a business funded by Japanese government? And I want to check if we have, I think they have proposal for an agreement with the LGU before. And I proposed that because in Davao City, I've heard that the JICA project with regarding to this system is turned over to the LGU. And I even mentioned that before, Mr. Chairman. And it's parang baniwala na eh. So I think we have to check the documents of this company, Mr. Chairman. So with that, I defer the endorsement, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, as stated by the committee chairman, so the proponent Energy System Incorporated is deferred. Proceed.
Okay, next is Nihao Boracay Corporation on the proposed 4-story 36 rooms hotel with restaurants on ground floor located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I visited inspected the area of the proposed 4-story 36 rooms hotel with restaurant of the Nihao Boracay Corporation, Mr. Chairman, Barangay Manok-Manok. But during inspection, this is within the slope area, parang malapit sa road. And there will be another setback, no, Mr. Chairman. So I make some proposals, Chairman, or some recommendations. The area is, I think, parang alanganin. Sa Tuluban, pasaka gani. And I required, since it's in the, yung sa ibaba niyan is the wetland. So I recommend to have to require them to submit the certification on land classification, Mr. Chairman, in order to sigurado na walang problema. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I defer the endorsement of this Nihao Boracay Corporation until they has to submit some requirements, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, as stated by the committee chairman, the proponent Nihao Boracay Corporation, their application is deferred. Proceed.
Next is Poses Elizabeth and Ray Hilito as built of 2-story 34 rooms residential and commercial building apartment located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, committee chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, we inspected the application of the area of these spouses, Ray Hilito and Elizabeth Hilito, Mr. Chairman. The building is existing. So for this, the 34 rooms na. Yeah. Mali na. Correction. So anyway, I have checked only. So it's a room residential and commercial building, Mr. Chairman. It complies also the zoning classification and also the setback from the property line. But since the building is already existing without building permit, so they will be penalized for its violation, Mr. Chairman. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the application of spouses Hilito, Ray Hilito and Elizabeth Hilito for this 2-story rooms residential commercial building shall be endorsed subject for penalty, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. There's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent spouses Elizabeth and Ray Hilito. Seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is approved subject for payment of penalties. Proceed.
Next is Rosemary Absalon Ilam on the proposed additional of second floor 4 rooms residential and commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, Committee
Thank
Chairman.
you, Mr. Chairman. So the area was inspected for the applicants for the application of the proposed additional second floor 4 rooms residential commercial building of Rosemary Absalon Ilam in Barangay Manok-Manok. It not yet started, Mr. Chairman. It complied with the zoning classification. So with that, I move that the application of Rosemary Abdul Elam for the proposed additional second floor room, 4 rooms residential commercial building shall be endorsed, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the proponent Rosemary Absalon Iliam, seconded by Honorable Pasugiron. So the said motion is approved. Proceed.
Okay, next is Mr. Earlman Casimero on the proposed two-story 14 rooms, residential and commercial building, a partel and coffee shop at Barangay Katiklan.
Proceed, committee chairman.
So I give the floor to to our
Honorable Aaron,
committee chairman.
instead.
The building of Mr. Elman Casimero on the road, Airport Road at Katiklan, Malay, Aklan is in compliance since the building is in a setback along the roads, and on the other side there's no other affected areas. They have their own property, so I see the building, it's on compliant. Only they have started already the first phase of the construction. I just don't know if there's a need to have a penalty because of constructing prior to the issuance of building permit.
Okay.
I move to endorse the said project.
Okay, so there's a motion from the member of the Committee on Construction for the approval of the endorsement of proponent Mr. Earlman Casimero, subject for payment of penalties
first.
because they have started construction without the proper building permit. Seconded by Honorable Pagsugeron, so the said motion is approved. Proceed.
Okay, last, Mr. Chairman, is Mr. Militon S. Prado on the proposed two-story, 2 bedrooms residential building with office located at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Proceed, Committee Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman. So the application of Militon Prado, we inspected the area, Mr. Chairman, with the proposed 2-story, 2 bedrooms residential building with office, but there was no representative during the inspection, Chairman. So this will be subject for another inspection, Mr. Chairman. So I move that, with that, Mr. Chairman, I move that the endorsements will be deferred until for another inspection, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, as stated by the Committee Chairman, so the application of Mr. Militon Prado is deferred. Okay, let's move to the calendar business, Madam Secretary. There's no business for the day. Unassigned business. Other matters. Honorable Graf.
Since Mr. Chair, the situation in Boracay is going to be turned around, whatever. I think we should be refiling that is that a resolution that we wanted to move all the boats to the mainland in to Sambiray. Sambiray, because as from what I heard, the governor have already parang temporarily suspended the one entry, one exit because of the presence of the punton at the north end of White Beach. We have to look into that, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Because that's to decongest our beach with the boats, Mr. Chair, that are harmful also to our environment, not only for our marine life there, but also the environment of White Beach in particular.
Okay. If the question of the that ordinance is only regarding the conflict of the one entry, one exit, so pwede matumbulon na yung atong provision para ang Sanbiray matapos din mo nga kwan ron. Ang tawag na
Mooring area.
Ano tawag na? Mooring area. Mamula tayo, nag-conflict ito.
So, verify.
The ordinance was adopted on previous administration. Dapat i-re-adapt in the present set officials.
Kaya?
Okay. So, verify. Incoming.
Incoming ko na
Incoming
to.
na.
The previous, pati ito nga, amiga, pati ikaw.
Okay. So, incoming ito next week.
Incoming next week, schedule lang, okay?
Check ko baga sa record na
Ito na mo rin. So, ang na-incorporate ito, ang cargo port. Ay mo na nag-question nun dahil cargo port. Di po luntan ng cargo port. O brantat bagong ordinansa ng cargo port uman. May gusto nung dabay, Juan. Buluntan na ito, tugod ang muring importante. Dapat daliun na ito ng pag-approve. Okay.
Very good move, Mr. Chair, so that they will also feel that during these trying times, we are also trying to do our best, doing our best to correct whatever mistakes we may have done in the past.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Sige. So, other matters?
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
Oh, yes, the matter, Mr. Chairman. I was aghast with the headline the other day, Mr. Chairman. For the Panay News of the Malay LGU Spurns big events about regarding the La Boracay on the 27th up to May 1, I think, Mr. Chairman. And there was an announcement that the closure for Boracay will be in April 26. So, April 26, I think. And then La Boracay starts at April 27. So I was surprised really reading the content of the newspaper, Mr. Chairman, and I also, maybe some of you saw the Facebook, no, yung sa LGU Malay regarding the parang ano to, suspending the La Boracay events. Nangawalan ko dahil kung basahan mo na, small organized events that are compliant of local ordinance, pwede. And stop issuing special permits to big events related to. So meaning, ito lang mga intok na ragali, yung compliance and the big ones are not. So, so nakibot ako, and I even commented, Mr. Chairman. So sana, this it should be a suggestion from the executive department to inform inform us, the body, regarding these plans, no? Dahil the event is a very big event for Hamilton since 2013. So hindi man basta-basta mag-decision lang sandang without our information na bakit, what will be the reason. If the purpose is, the reason is the basura, it's only management eh. Diba? And then it add to no waste. Eh, sabi ng BIWC, kaya na nila dahil malapit na matapos yung itong diversion nanda. So, management ba lang ang problema, Chairman eh. So, if you allow small and disallow big, Boracay pa rin yun. Diba? The same. Diba? So, mo lang anong Commission Chairman, istorya ba't mayad, dapat, and then, kung ano mga problema, may mga solusyon. So, with that events lang alone, if we cannot handle it, diba, kita lang, it shows our weakness eh. Mr. Chairman. So, dapat kung kutakan eh, pakita na ito nga, kayat na ito na handle haron nga mga events eh. So, gapakita nga mahina kita. So, and in spite they said that 30,000 influx tourists during that events. I-multiply 30,000 times 75, that's almost more than 2 million eh. So why not use the 1 million for its clean up drive? So, Chairman. Or allows this event organizer that are required to put up some amount for cleanliness. And then they have to manage their waste, solid waste, Mr. Chairman. So management lang ang problema na karon eh. So nangawa ba ako nga big events nga ginabantayan it mga Pilipino, not only Filipinos but other foreign tourists, ay ikuan mo na, i-limit mo or ano ang tawag na. At even the governor is recommending for its stoppage for that events. Ano tabo mong kandaraman? So gapakita lamang maguyat akita iya nga di itong kaya mag-handle taro mga activities in spite na may mga kwarta man kita nga igasto. So Mr. Chairman. So aron lang akong ginakuan nga may problema giman kita iya sa siguro dala ako latana ay dapat i-discuss anay baga hindi nga mag-decision na gulpi-gulpi una nga wa na istudyo kung ano mga epekto sa other side sa mga decisions nga ginaobra sa Chairman.
Okay. Thank you for that timely observation. Other matters?
Mr. Chairman, Barangay Kabulihan is inviting you on their fiesta and at the same time requesting for financial assistance to defray their expenses.
Okay.
And we have may referral ang Office of the Mayor regarding a letter of inquiry of the regional director Port Manager of PPA regarding the Manok-Manok Port.
Ano, can you repeat, Madam Secretary?
May letter abi ang PPA kay Mayor. This is addressed to the Mayor. This has reference with the OTR's project Manok-Manok Port Development located at Barangay Manok-Manok, which is slated for implementation in December 22, 2016, that however remained under suspension due to non-issuance of ECC. Series of communications had been sent requesting for the issuance of locational clearance as a requisite for the processing of ECC. But up to this time, we have not received any official response from your office. Through ECC could not be processed from the NREMB. Relative thereto, may we be appraised of if there are issues and concerns which may hinder the Sangguniang Bayan of Malay from issuing such requirement. Hoping for your favorable action on the request. This is signed by Jose Cesario Bautista, the Port Manager of PPA.
Okay, so what was the communication of
The Office of the Mayor
Office of the Mayor.
transmitting to your office the enclosed letter from Mr. Jose Cesario Bautista, Port Manager of PPA, for information, issues, and concerns that hinder the Sangguniang Bayan of Malay from issuing the required document from your good office?
Okay. Honorable Bautista?
Mr. Presiding, di ba nag-meeting o sa nakaroon sa NIDA office sa Iloilo? Oh, and the mayor, I think, is present during the meeting. But wala man sana nagawa. They didn't implement what they have agreed upon during that meeting.
And they did not discuss that what transpired in the meeting to us. So how can we comment?
So there was no coordination from their office. And the issue only is yung sa resolution natin ng endorsement of the project, that after the completion of the project shall be turned over to the LGU Malay. Yun naman ang issue doon, Mr. Chairman, and they want us to remove that conditions. I think it's why. Di ba? Yun lang man ang purpose na to eh.
Oo.
That's
Yeah. And it was never happened.
But Mr. Chairman, ang mga gihambal nga ro nga mag-coordinate si gobyerno, wa man iyan papel doon eh, puro lang istorya eh. So I think we have to attach the letter from the NIDA and then inform them that there was no implementation or compliance with within this transpired during the conference with NIDA, Mr. Chairman. So but the governor did not comply with it. So
ang aton nga tong resolution endorsement, may reply ka to ang PPA nga to remove the provision. Okay, so we will send again our resolution. We have already approved the endorsement since butang tong kanopa. And I don't know what diyan nakabutang ho ano ang issues concerned which hinder.
Intervention of the province.
Ipadala to man ang atong resolution.
Una namang comment yung PPA na alisin yung
Ngawa man.
Provision na yun. Only the province.
Ikuan lang padala lagi dali good para may
attach
lang to.
Attach man
Okay.
Another, Mr. Chairman, this is with regard to our inquiry to the Board of Investment on the investment of foreign nationals with tourist visa. According to the BUI, tourist visa holders are not allowed to invest in the Philippines. Are not allowed. The foreigners they are advised to visit the BUI website for requirements.
So kay sino na?
Mga Chinese na to.
I think we have to check now some applications, the chairman, on the building constructions of those corporations which was organized now through SEC registered with the SEC with the incorporators which are holding tourist visas, chairman.
So I think we have to review, no, and inform them that, and even we have to ano to, recall the endorsement of chairman. It's a violation of laws, eh.
Okay.
But I think
At the end, ang
the
ano,
one
please
who
be
identified
informed.
for para doon sa mga incorporators ng SEC ay SEC mismo. Dapat sanda mismo magtanaw kung tourist visa or with 9G or ano pa nga yung isa? With yung anong visa? Working visa nanda? Dapat ito po lang na-screenotat ng SEC ron?
Or maybe, Mr. Chairman, we have to check those submitted documents kung if this is a genuine or not. And most of I've seen most of it SEC registered is 2016.
And I understand the SEC, if it's a foreign national, they're really requiring alien. Oo, may ada na required ng SEC.
So
that
we have no basis.
i-check na to kasi kung spurious tanan-tanan ng mga
SEC registration, so I will collect all the SEC registration and to check with the SEC Commission if it's genuine or not. So,
Okay. If there are no other matters to be discussed, Honorable Pagsugiron,
Announcement, Mr. Chair.
announcement.
Mr. Chair, I've scheduled meeting with the frontliners, those accredited associations and cooperatives next week. That would be on April 11, no? To be held at, I think, your hotel in the morning.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, on the requirement for the drivers, no, tricycle, e-trike on the accreditation, I think, are we implementing it? Sa Boracay, Mr. Chairman.
Kag sa Boracay, they were accredited already by the BLTMPC, but not yet as in our ano.
No ID.
No driving.
And besides, we're going to convert eh. So ang i-conduct natin, ang mag-conduct it orientation, ang i-trike driver ito na, operator. Okay?
Chairman?
Yeah, Honorable Bautista.
More business to be discussed, so I move to adjourn the session.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for the adjournment of our 12 regular session, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So our 12 regular session is hereby adjourned at exactly 2:40 p.m. 45 ba? 2:45 p.m.
Confirmation from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community still broadcast the
That's why we invited you before the powers of corruption, and that's why we would like to inquire that
To besmirch my, or to destroy my reputation, my dignity, and my personal faith, even in those of my family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming